आई थिंक दैट वाज अ वियर्ड वन क्योंकि मैं कब से काउंटडाउन बंद करके बैठा था योगेश एंड इट फुल्ली ग्लिच्ड आई थिंक ओवर देयर बट मतलब मैं 2 लूप पे लगा के रखा था इधर 3 लूप हो गया बट नो वरीज वी आर बैक विथ अनदर एपिसोड यार योगेश पहले तो कैसे कर रहा है
बस बस बढ़िया यार. हाउ इज एवरीवन?
Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. By the way, आज like actually वो जो मीटअप हुआ वो तो मजा आया कैल्चियो चर्चा का मिलान यूवे के लिए
या
मजा इवेंट में आया
या
गेम तो वी ऑल वाज ड्रैब योगेश के साथ हम लोग कॉल भी कर रहे थे वेन्यू से बाय द वे उस मीटअप का व्लॉग या कुछ तो निकलेगा डेफिनेटली थोड़े टाइम में वील हैव टू एडिट ऑल द वीडियोस टुगेदर बिकॉज हमने बहुत मतलब ऑन द स्पॉट रैंडम वीडियोस लिए राइट योगेश सो वो सब एडिट करने में बनाने में एक व्लॉग बनाने में टाइम तो लग जाएगा तो वो तो डेफिनेटली कर लेंगे बट यार इट वाज अ फन मीट मजा आया गेम तो खास नहीं था बट मजा तो है ज्यादा मिलान फैंस थे योगेश कॉल से था एक यूए फैन था मुश्किल से obviously I was the only Inter fan there was supposed to be yeah there was supposed to be one more Inter fan but he got caught up as well last minute so and Manas bhai couldn't also come because he was also supposed to come but let's see who's in the house योगेश first हेलास देख वो तो मतलब वो हो गया तो लगता है कैल्चियो चर्चा बंद करना पड़ेगा हम लोग को फिर 2 मिनट एडवांस नहीं यार मतलब मैं भी लेट आज सब लेट हो गए फोर्जा वेरोना जिंदगी ना मिलेगी सही है बॉयज आर बैक सेज फुटबॉल एंथुसियास्ट यार अगर आप पहले एक तो बार फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स फॉर ट्यूनिंग इन if you are new to the channel please do subscribe and like this stream because I think Yogesh we have crossed 1215 सब्सक्राइबर्स तो क्रॉस हो गया मुझे एग्जैक्ट नंबर मैंने देखा नहीं बट अगेन द गोल योगेश इज 1.3 के सब्स तो डेफिनेटली सब्सक्राइब करो यार मतलब और कंटेंट तो आता रहेगा दिस वीक वाज अ बिट स्लो योगेश बिकॉज एक्चुअली वो मीटअप के बाद वही हुआ कि हम तीनों बीमार पड़ गए not it was the weather change probably in
या
Mumbai because every third person I was talking to was like viral हो गया और मुझे भी हुआ अजय भाई को एंड चिंतन भाई को तो वर्स देन बोथ ऑफ अस चिंतन भाई की तो बैंड बज गई थी एंड देन ही हैड टू वॉच मिलान यूवे द नाइट बिफोर सो इमेजिन मेंटल और इमोशनल डैमेज दोनों बट तू कैसा कर रहा है तू बता
यार मैं तो बढ़िया चल रहा हूँ एंड एवरीथिंग इज
आई थिंक
लुकिंग फाइन फ्रॉम द टॉप ऑफ द टेबल तो
two top of the table in Serie A. We were at least top of the table of the UCL for a while
ग्लिचिंग.
until Liverpool won. I think Yogesh has had उसका इंटरनेट इश्यूज है बट आप उसको डेफिनेटली सुन तो पाओगे ही इज रीलोकेटेड सो बेयर विथ हिम विथ इंटरनेट इश्यूज यार उसको थोड़ा वो सब फिक्स करने में टाइम लग जाएगा बट या वील बी डिस्कसिंग इंटर एंड एटलांटा मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ अदर फॉर्म एंड एवरीथिंग दूसरी चीजें भी करेंगे बट ये करेंगे जब बाकी के पैनल भी वापस आ जाए तो वील वेट अ बिट लेट मी जस्ट टेक अ फ्यू कमेंट्स एंड डाइव इनटू सम अदर डिस्कशन योगेश आई थिंक पूरा अटक गया स्ट्रीम में योगेश कुछ तो कर भाई बहुत एंड सेज गुड इवनिंग होप वी डोंट हैव टू वॉच मिलान यूवे अगेन बैड एज एडवर्ड फॉर Italian football there was a feeling of both sides cancelling each other out yeah I mean both were playing very cautiously and अगर आप न्यूट्रल को ये गेम दिखाना चाहते थे फ्रॉम एन एंटरटेनमेंट स्टैंड पॉइंट नॉट द ग्रेटेस्ट गेम from the tactical and from what the clubs wanted to achieve, you understand their motives because Juve had a depleted team and Milan didn't want to drop points, really, because they are not doing well in the league either. Um, Yogesh will be back. उसके इंटरनेट इश्यूज चल रहे हैं यार चिंतन भाई शुड बी ज्वाइनिंग इन 10 मिनट्स अजय भाई को थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा ज्वाइन करने में या एटलांटा इज फायर इसलिए आज हम लोग ने ये एपिसोड नेराज्जुरी डोमिनेशन जानबूझ के नाम दिया इट्स नॉट अबाउट you get the point, right? Inter and Atalanta both doing well in the league and the Champions League. So, yeah. रवि जोशी एक ही सेंटेंस में फॉर्जा यू और फॉर्जा नापोली दोनों बोल दिया तो यू हैव कमिटेड द बिगेस्ट क्राइम ब्रो वी माइट हैव टू बैन यू फ्रॉम द चैनल मैं ये कमेंट ना स्टार कर रहा हूँ सो योगेश एंड डीजे भाई बोथ सी दिस सो यू स्क्रूड या इटालियन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल नाइस टू हैव यू और एटलांटा इज लव बहुत टाइम के बाद दिख रहे हो आप या मतलब आप लोग भी अच्छा खेल रहे हो हम लोग भी अच्छा खेल रहे हैं सो फार सो गुड टचवुड इट कंटिन्यूज hopefully more on our side than yours but I hope you guys also do well Milan fans watching Cardinale rejects thrive in other teams देख शुभदीप वही है मतलब I think CDK to Milan was a bit too soon and then you see he needed that step like Atalanta and I think that has done him good ये बकवास कमेंट है ये मतलब रवि ये तो तू आई नो यू आर ट्रोलिंग बट दिस इज नो वे ट्रू ब्रो दिस इज इफ यू आर Allegri we wouldn't have won all these games it's as simple as that can we convince Param bhai to address Yogesh by Lord Yogesh देख लॉर्ड तू कौन से कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोलना चाहता है इज इट एज अ जोक और इज इट एज लाइक टू प्रेज हिम रेतेगी इज फैंटास्टिक ब्रो लाइक रेतेगी मतलब तुम लोग का स्क्वाड डेप्थ इस सीजन इतना अच्छा है कि यू हैव टू लाइक गिव इट क्रेडिट दैट्स व्हाई वी take Atalanta seriously on all fronts. And I know Gasperini बोल भी चुका है कि he's indirectly hinted that he's more confident about doing wonders in the Champions League than in the Serie A. So let's see where that goes. Uh, yeah, now in comparison to the Super Cup, definitely ये ज़्यादा अभी interesting होगा. सुपर कप का रिवेंज इन अ वे एटलांटा को लेना रहेगा. दिस इज द टाइम टू प्ले रियल मैड्रिड विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू रियल मैड्रिड फैंस इफ देयर आर एनी in the chat. This is not no intention of disrespect, but bhai, Atalanta, Real Madrid, this time Atalanta, if they have to capitalize here. I'm sorry, like, with all due respect. अरे भाई आप यार वो आई नो योर टैक्टिक्स, इसलिए मैं बोला नहीं रवि. एक बार आई फेल फॉर इट ऑब्वियसली. Can I say both? Nice one. CDK 5 goals assist in a game. Maybe this management never finds happiness. देख, there is also that factor मिहिर की एटालांटा में जाके प्लेयर्स, ये क्या हो गया योगेश, क्या इफेक्ट डाला है कि क्या है ये क्या है ये ब्रो? ये क्या किया तूने? ये क्या है वो बता भाई, ये क्या कर दिया? इफेक्ट डाला है क्या तूने कुछ?
नहीं नहीं, इफेक्ट डाला था और नेट थोड़ा बरोबर नहीं चल रहा मेरा, सो आई थॉट एक ग्लिच टेस्ट कर देख लेते हैं.
Yeah. योगेश पर क्या बोलते, चार्ल्स डे कैटलारा, डू यू अग्री दैट लाइक Atalanta has to be like considered easily one of the best clubs in the world to, you know, make gold out of anything? Because तो मिलान में जानता है चार्ल्स डे केटलारा कैसा था, मतलब वो ठीक है वो नया था उधर, उसको एडजस्ट होने में टाइम लगा एंड न्यू एनवायरनमेंट
Yeah.
एंड ऑल टेक्स अ टूल. बट एटलांटा में जाके जो भी ठीक है वो ऑल दोस एटलांटा जूस जोक्स असाइड, लेट्स लीव इट ओके फॉर अ मिनट. अपन जानते हैं वो सब जोक्स कभी जाएगा नहीं, वो नीडल्स, वो जूस, वो सब जाएगा नहीं. बट ऑन अ सीरियस नोट, क्या बोलता है यार तो, बिकॉज देर मोस्टली लेट्स से 90% 95% के रेंज में ये लोग कन्वर्ट कर ही देते अच्छे प्लेयर में. जनियोलो को छोड़ दे तू, जनियोलो आई थिंक इज अ लॉस्ट कॉज. उसको छोड़ के सब, मतलब यू नो ऑल प्लेयर्स. रेतेगी इज आल्सो बैक इन फॉर्म, मतलब जेनोआ में रेतेगी यूज्ड टू गेट इंजर्ड. क्या बोलता है तू?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Atlanta have something in their water. They tend to revive a lot of players, a lot of players की career revive करने के लिए Atlanta is very famous. So Di Ketlare was a very good talent player at Milan. Also, he did not get. I don't know how do we put it here. Like उसे chances भी दिए थे. He got game time, but he could not prove himself and वो system में बैठ नहीं रहा था.
या
But since coming to Atlanta, he has been like last season भी हमने देखा उसका. How was it? They won the Europa League and he was a very key component in that, right?
एग्जैक्टली.
So, and this season as well, like D. Gatlara has been performing in and out. He has been doing quite good. थोड़ा
या
सा
या
लुकमैन is performing like way above everyone. तो लुकमैन headlines में आता है. इसलिए डी केटलारे इतना headlines जितने में आना चाहिए उतना आ नहीं पा रहा है. But I think he's having a very good season, and I think he can continue if he's on this path. Gasperini has set him up very brightly. Like he has a bright future.
वेरी वेल सेड. बाय द वे अगेन 27 पीपल वाचिंग यार, अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया प्लीज चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो एंड स्प्रेड द वर्ड. कंटेंट आता रहेगा. अगेन दिस वीक वाज अ बिट स्लो बिकॉज 3 ऑफ द मेंबर्स तो फेल सिक एंड बाकी का कंटेंट तो आता रहेगा. वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स प्लान्ड. सीडीके इज killing it in Atalanta Ballon d'Or charge on Ballon d'Or. ठीक है. Yeah, Lazio, of course we have given a shout out to Lazio Bodayan. मतलब we have talked, so we wanted to do a episode separately on Baroni and Lazio and we will still do it. Actually it was supposed to go out last week, but then last minute plan changes, which meant that we had to change it to a chill stream. If you guys remember, we did last week. अगर योगेश तुझे याद है तो रेस्टोरेंट से पॉप इन किया था. It was actually, that was the day of our Lazio episode, but then something came up and we had to change the date. So like we have already spoken about Lazio and Baroni, but एक अलग सा वीडियो आने वाला है बोधोयन उस पे. So very soon, let's hope कि टाइम मिले ये कल या परसों में रिकॉर्ड करने को and we'll dish it out. Because Yogesh, I think you will also agree, they have been fantastic and soon I know Inter will be playing them and soon they will also have games, tough games as well. Yeah, Arun, nice to have you here, another Inter fan in the house. Uh, I hope you are also doing well. मैं तो ठीक हूँ यार, मतलब बीच में after the meetup, as I said, I was sick. Now I'm fine for the most part. मुंबई में वायरल वेव चल रहा है, तो अगर आप मुंबई में हो तो ध्यान रखो. और यही बोल सकता हूँ. एटलांटा इज स्मोकिंग ऑन मर्डर. अरे बाप रे. योगेश डे लोरेंटेस इज हियर. देख योगेश, तेरे फैंस तो ऑलरेडी आ गए. देख भाई,
Hey guys.
जापानीज. आई कांट सी योगेश जापानीज फ्रॉम एनी एंगल यार. आई डोंट नो कौन से एंगल से यार. Last missing piece to the Gasperini masterpiece is reviving Zaniolo. वही ना इंटर फैन,
Right.
वही एक बचा है, वही ना योगेश, उसी को उसने पब्लिकली भी क्रिटिसाइज किया था. प्रॉब्लम इज जनियोलो, इफ यू
Yeah.
रिमेंबर ही सेड दिस अ फ्यू मंथ्स
Yeah.
अगो. ही इज द ओनली वन ही इज अनेबल टू रिवाइव. मतलब देन दैट्स जनियोलो फॉर यू. इट्स लाइक रिहैब. हिज हाई, हिज हाईनेस. अरे बाप रे योगेश, स्क्रीनशॉट ले ले जब तक है ऐसे कमेंट्स, before it all goes crumbling. I know the GOAT manager, his name starts with G. It's not Guardiola, it's not Gilardino, it's my man Gasparini. इसकी,
Wow.
yeah, I think he needs to become a writer because he comes up with a lot of good stuff on the spot. तू writer बन जा भाई.
Yeah,
रवि.
Ravi Joshi, right?
Yeah, he comes up with a lot of good stuff on the spot. Duan Zapata. हाँ देख, Duan Zapata, he has वही ना, that's a good video कि योगेश, there's a good point somebody made the other day कि जो players का the name doesn't necessarily have to be that big when they come at Atalanta. Then Gasperini turns them in. Muriel भी, like he was popular and he was decent, but he reached another level. तुझे याद है मुरियल के लॉन्ग रेंज गोल्स भाई कितने
Yeah.
मारता था योगेश? तुझे अपने सब टीम्स के अगेंस्ट तो
Yeah,
मारा ही
yeah.
एक
Muriel
तो.
का like goal collection is very like YouTube reels बन सकता है उससे goal collection से
हाँ,
तो.
exactly. Actually, we if we don't get a copyright strike, maybe we can make one. पर साला YouTube मार देगा अपनी. Acerbi for Ballon d'Or. Yeah. Acerbi has been sensational and वो बेचारा actually फिर से इंजर हो गया. But the hope is he will be back for the game against Fiorentina this weekend. And if touchwood everything goes right, we will be doing a watch along for Fiorentina Inter Yogesh, so which is Sunday 10:30. So that's not a bad time, even if it's a Sunday. 10:30 का kick off तो है
Hmm.
वैसे भी. But one bad news
Hmm.
for Inter fans, जो Inter पे तो आऊंगा कि पावार्ड इंजर हो गया लाइप्जिग के अगेंस्ट, एंड ही इज गोइंग टू मिस योगेश up until the next 5 games of Inter, 5 to 6 games, and he's either going to return on 28th December Cagliari के अगेंस्ट, या सीधा जनवरी में 3rd जनवरी में एटलांटा के अगेंस्ट सुपर कोपा में. इतना लेट. सो बेंजामिन पावार्ड इज अ बिग मिस, बिग इंजरी, बिग मतलब मसल इशू है, but he's going to be out for a very long time. So that's another bad news for us. Was that pun scripted? योगेश भाई अगर एटलांटा जाके करियर रहे होता है तो वन. दिस इज अ गुड. योगेश फ्रोज एट द रॉन्ग टाइम यार. दिस इज अ गुड मीम. योगेश ये देख भाई कमेंट तेरे लिए. आई होप यू कैन सी दिस. आई डोंट थिंक ही कैन बिकॉज ऑफ द लैग. मुझे लग नहीं रहा है वो देख पा रहा है. आई कीप इट स्टिल. योगेश आई होप यू फिक्स योर थिंग. व्हाट हैपेंड फॉर द गिव अवे? हो गया अरुण, यू आर द वन स्लीपिंग ब्रो. मीर वन इट. Mir won it and he even posted a picture on Twitter. I think you are the one sleeping, bro. You need to wake up. Uh, Woofy says one thing I like about Yogesh brother is that he supports Napoli and I hate Napoli. So do you support UA? I guess you support UA, bro. Because if you hate Napoli that much, unless I have a feeling maybe you're a UA fan. Who can Atalanta look to replace Lukman and Ederson with if they leave next season? See, so Gokul, this is a good question because I think people need to. The thing is, even Atalanta fans realize that कैसा होता है ना, their own players tend to leave regardless of how well they do. And whether it's one or two players, it's possible. But again, you have to put some respect on Atalanta's name. You can't say कि एकदम fire sale होने वाला है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. Because now they have won a big trophy already, and there is a chance कि वो लोग retain करे players. I think Yogesh is still hung. So whenever he fixes his video and audio, I'll take him on. But you get the point, Gogul, कि इस time अगर ये उन्होंने जो squad depth भी बनाई है, it's there because the players
I'm
believe
having
in the
very bad
project.
internet यार.
या बैंगलोर में किधर रह रहा है भाई योगेश, क्या कर रहा है? बट या द पॉइंट इज गोकुल की द इशू इज yes it's possible. I mean एडरसन अब बहुत टाइम रुक चुका है एटलांटा में and he might be considering a new challenge. There is a possibility. If Ederson leaves, look, we have to. There have been a few reports. I will have to think of a few names, but yeah, definitely Ederson will be like the biggest blow. More than anything, I feel Ederson is their most important player right now. Without him in midfield, I think that midfield falls apart. They Lukman replaceable hai. They can bring in a lot of attackers. Lukman, it's not like he's an irreplaceable player. Attackers उनके पास भर के, and I'm sure they can find a similar profile. They have a top scouting system. They have a top youth academy, so there's no worries there. They have a good striker in their youth academy by the name of Vanya Vlahovic. No connections to Dusan Vlahovic by any means. मतलब कुछ फैमिली कनेक्शन नहीं है. सो ऐसे कोई इश्यूज नहीं होंगे. बट एडरसन में इज द गुड क्वेश्चन बेसिकली इन केस ही वाज टू लीव. डिप्रेस्ड रियल मैड्रिड फैन यार. एक स्ट्रगलिंग सीजन में इतना The thing is, we can't relate with your depression, bro. Your problems are luxury, with all due respect. uh, like Guendouzi won't leave Lazio though. He's not going to leave Lazio for Atalanta. He loves Lazio. उसने खुद publicly बोला है कि he's in love with Lazio. He's not going to leave Lazio for Atalanta. Like I don't see that happening unless Atalanta do something crazy. And I don't see Atalanta going for Guendouzi either, to be honest. Uh, Ilicic under gap, yaar. Gasp, yaar. I mean, Ilicic was crazy. Wait, I think Yogesh is back. Yogesh, can you hear me? Like, are you there in audio? I don't think Yogesh is there. If guys, if you can hear Yogesh, please let me know. I think he's facing some major internet issues. Uh, yeah, Ilicic under gas, but definitely, man. Like he was one of those players you used to tune in to watch just alone. I think उसकी वजह से ज्यादा लोग Atalanta को देखने के लिए ट्यून इन करते थे. And his goals, I remember, uh, Atalanta thrashing Inter 4-1, Atalanta beating all these teams, and Ilicic being a key part of it. Yeah, Moise Keane is also on fire यार. मतलब क्या ही बोले, मतलब but with Keane ना मुझे I want to see how long it continues. I want to see, because is it like a comfort zone thing, because Italy के लिए it's still mixed bag of performances. I want to see how long it continues. I'm not still going to jump on the Moise Keane train. Pavard is going to miss. What? I didn't even understand this. Uh, who remembers Papu Gomez at Atalanta? Yeah, Papu Gomez. But then he fell out with Gasperini, right? Gasperini, मतलब उसका और Gasperini का argument हो गया towards the end, and he obviously the club decided to stick with Gasperini, which was the right choice, because Papu Gomez को problem था of playing a deeper role, which Gasperini wanted him to, but he didn't listen, and then they had to show him the door. I do think they've patched up, but then yes, there was a problem obviously. Nice to have you, Chris. Genoa matlab can't catch a break. 2-2 draw. Patrick Vieira. I was actually rooting for a draw or a loss for Genoa because I don't like Patrick Vieira, the coach. So I was hoping कि तुम लोग points drop करो, with all due respect. Uh, देख भाई, तुम लोग को प्राइस तो बहुत बड़ा भरना पड़ेगा. अटलांटा इतने आसानी से जाने नहीं देगा, जो भी है. Do they play? Acha, you're a Barca fan. Fair enough. Do they play players with criminal records in Serie A? वो देख. I don't even want to touch upon it, because you said it yourself, being an Arsenal fan, bro. We played a good game against Cagliari, but still a draw. Yeah, I saw the game, Chris, but I would just say don't expect much with Patrick Vieira as a coach. I don't rate him as the coach. The player is a different thing, but not the coach. And I don't buy his bullshit that he's patched up things with Balotelli. वो तो मैं कभी agree नहीं करूंगा. मतलब I don't think he's fixed that issue. So, but yeah, I think I'll check with Yogesh. Just give me a minute, because this guy has completely disappeared. इसका internet issues मतलब इतना मैं expect नहीं किया. Uh, I'll just check who else is joining in. Uh, yeah, Chintan Bhai is almost on his way here. Uh, yeah, I mean he's in love with Lazio. Lazio Ultra की बात छोड़ो, he's in love with Lazio. Just go read his comments. Just go read some of the Lazio forums. Yeah, Fiorentina Inter interesting. आपके thoughts बताओ, because I feel this will be a tough game for us, because we won't have Benjamin Pavard. We potentially might not have Acerbi. मतलब he's expected to recover, but कुछ बोल नहीं सकते. Then with Davide Fratesi also is kind of injured, but he's expected to recover. So if these three, basically if Acerbi and Fratesi don't recover, then the bench becomes automatically thin, and Fiorentina have the upper hand. It's as simple as that. So देखते हैं यार, मतलब it's going to be a difficult one. I think Yogesh is back. One, Yogesh, are you there?
Yeah, I am there, but my internet is not letting me be there.
क्या भाई, तू किधर रिलोकेट किया है? मतलब कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा मेरे को, क्या है ये?
Yeah, very choppy internet. नहीं, आज कुछ weather का भी some issues are there. Electricity भी नहीं थी कुछ time के लिए.
तो audio से रह ले. So just a reminder that guys, Yogesh is in the stream, but only with audio. Internet issues. Nice to see you, Harsha. Forza Inter from Hyderabad. Nice to see you.
अरे
Glad
वाह.
to know that you're an Inter fan. But let's start a point of discussion here. I'll take your तुम लोग का comments थोड़ी देर में. फिर से मिहिर का एम्बापे वाला comment है, मैं उधर स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, उधर से रिज्यूम करूंगा. बट योगेश, लेट्स स्टार्ट समथिंग. क्या बोलता है यार? सेरिया में तो रोमा गेम के अगेंस्ट के तेरे ब्रीफ थॉट्स बता दे यार, क्या बोलता है?
It was a good game यार, काफी well managed game था. नापोली थोड़ा जैसा कॉन्टे के अंडर it has been थोड़ा सा mid block low block में खेल रही है. We did not give too many chances for Roma to attack, and Roma were also coming from a very bad run of games, right? Ranieri आया, they got a new coach in form of the legendary Ranieri. He has come in, and रोमा का भी ठीक ठाक ही परफॉर्मेंस था. नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ चांसेस क्रिएटेड, गोल माउथ एक्शन ज्यादा था नहीं, बट डी लोरेंजो का एक मैजिक मूवमेंट था मैच में. ही टुक द कवारास्केलिया ने क्रॉस किया, डी लोरेंजो टुक हिज ऑन हिज चेस्ट एंड जस्ट passed it beautifully for Lukaku to score. So it was a very good moment. थोड़े से रेफरीज के ऊपर वापस से एलिगेशंस हो रहे थे कि वेदर.
देख हाँ Lukaku. So if you guys saw the game, because Yogesh, I'll come to you with that. I'll try to, because I do think it was a two. मतलब दोनों challenge को yellow card था, and I think eventually it was a red यार. मतलब देख, again,
Yeah.
this is not to troll Napoli, this is not to troll Napoli, ये वो सब jokes बाजू में. But I think referees के बहुत ज्यादा issues हो रहे हैं अभी इस लीग में. मतलब it's getting a bit too much ना, क्या बोलते हैं, क्योंकि Hummels did fuck up मीर, उस पे मैं आता हूँ. That's typical Hummels. Look, my agenda against Hummels will always be there, and there's a reason I do not like Matt Hummels. I'll come to that later. But Yogesh क्या बोलता है? Because यार, come on यार, I think that was definitely जिस तरीके से लुकाकू ने recklessly dive in किया. I think both of those were yellows. क्या बोलता है तू? Honest opinion दे, even if you don't think it was, say it as you feel.
Honest opinion, it could have been a yellow card, but VAR cannot interfere in yellow card offenses, right? तो ये थोड़ा सा
That's
gray
true.
area है. तो
That's
this
true.
needs
I
to be
agree. तू
sorted out.
वो मुझे पता है. देख, तू टेक्निकलिटी यूज मत कर. तू ऑनेस्टली बता कि तुझे लगता है वो, मतलब जस्ट फ्रॉम अ फाउल स्टैंड पॉइंट, वर द टू टैकल्स येलो कार्ड्स, यस और नो, वो बता मुझे.
तो first tackle, it was a like fair attempt, 50-50 था. Like both
हाँ.
players went for the ball. और लुकाकू का कुछ malicious intent भी नहीं था. Like replays में भी वो दिख रहा था that it was a clean tackle to get the ball. तो first tackle पे तो नहीं, but second tackle पे it could have been a yellow, but referee did not give it. VAR yellow card पे interfere कर नहीं सकता. तो it was like, this is still a gray area of football कि these people need to sort this out. Like VAR has to, like video assistant referee here, then he should be able to regulate each and everything that is happening in the match. That is my personal opinion. So I
या
think
सो
in future,
हाँ.
like, and then फिर उसके भी thoughts है कि coaches can ask for actions or VAR interference, right? तो वो सारी चीजों के बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा फुटबॉल इन जनरल को.
देख, आप लोग भी कमेंट्स में बताओ आपको क्या लगा. I'll just pull up an image. I'm not getting a video, right? So I'll pull up an image of the thing. Again, Yogesh is there in the stream with audio. उसका इंटरनेट इश्यूज है, इसलिए वो वीडियो से नहीं है. So bear with him. ये विजिबल है, राइट योगेश? आई होप दिस इज
Yeah,
विजिबल.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
सो देखो यार, ये फर्स्ट वाला ऊपर वाला था. सो अगेन बोथ प्लेयर्स वेंट फॉर द बॉल, बट मेरा थोड़ा उल्टा है. मुझे लगता है फर्स्ट वन वाज मोर ऑफ अ क्लियर येलो देन द सेकंड वन. ऐसा मुझे लगता है, जो स्वीलर पे जो था ना उसका नीचे वाला, राइट. आई फील दैट वाज मोर ऑफ अ फेयर अटेम्प्ट टू गो फॉर द बॉल. दिस एंड दिस वाज मोर ऑफ अ क्लियर येलो. अगेन हियर बेसिकली तो जो 50-50 बोल रहा है, राइट, नीचे वाला.
Yeah, yeah,
बट
yeah.
यस, रोमा फैंस हैव अ वैलिड आर्गुमेंट कि भाई, क्योंकि कैसा होता है ना, वही योगेश तो बोला ना कि रूल्स में क्लैरिटी नहीं होती, तो ऐसे फॉल्स में हम मांगते हैं येलो कार्ड्स. नाउ somewhere I do believe he should have gotten carded, but then you have made a valid point कि for me this one especially, इसमें बहुत मोमेंटम की भी चीज होती है. आप एकदम से रुक नहीं सकते हो, बॉल के लिए
Yeah,
जा रहे हो तो हो गई कांटेक्ट. सो बोथ वेज इट इज वैलिड, बट आई कैन ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड व्हेयर रोमा फैंस आर अ बिट पिस्ड ऑफ, बिकॉज अगर लुकाकू पिच पे नहीं होता तो वो गोल नहीं होता, एंड वी आर लुकिंग एट अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी, राइट. सो it is what it is. And yes, as coming to the goal, Yogesh, ये तो मैं definitely, Ajay bhai is here. Nice to have you. Ajay bhai, what's up?
yeah, that.
Yogesh with audio because his internet is messed up completely. So मतलब most of the
Okay.
stream it was me अकेले talking to the audience, but yeah, no worries. His internet is completely messed up. So definitely, but yeah, Hummels वही बोल रहे थे. Ajay bhai was also saying it on his watch along. He did, मतलब we discussed it, right, Ajay bhai? Hummels तो definitely effed up. Matlab, he did not look convincing at all. Your thoughts? It's just doing a brief wrap up of Napoli Roma, very brief. So your thoughts on the game?
I think we spoke about this as well. I think Ranieri set up the team in a very defensive manner. Obviously, the goal was not to concede a goal, and it did work for quite a bit. I think Napoli थोड़ा एक frustrate हो रही थी with, you know, the you saw Kvaratskhelia hitting those long range shots. तो थोड़ा तो रोमा ने फ्रस्ट्रेट किया. Dobbik had couple of half chances. That shot, I mean, with that header, he should have scored. To be honest,
Yeah.
he hit the crossbar from that. और भाई लुकाकू should have been sent off. ये अपन ने अगेन ये डिस्कस किया था अपन
Yeah,
ने
we
दोनों
were
फर्स्ट हाफ में.
discussing this. वो अभी
या
जस्ट खत्म किया मुद्दा हम लोग ने.
तो ये
वही
योगेश को हम लोग वॉच लॉन्ग भी कर रहे थे. योगेश को भी मैं वही बोल रहा था कि यार it looked so bad. Replay में तो it looked even worse.
Yogesh gave me technicalities. He started hitting me with technicalities कि VAR
No, no,
intervene
no,
नहीं
no,
कर.
no. There is no technicality. Yogesh, I have proof. You have said it on stream कि हाँ ये तो एकदम गंदा टैकल था. Especially the one on Celik and even the one on Svilar. Goalkeepers are always
This
protected.
is funny.
Goalkeeper का
This is
protection
funny.
होता ही है हमेशा.
This is
So
funny. This is funny. But
and
yeah,
and then he
बोलो
celebrated
बोलो.
also. And end of the game he was hugging Dybala. एकदम ऐसा प्यार
He
बता
is
रहा था,
very
जता रहा
fake
था.
यार. ये वो I will never buy into whatever Lukaku does. वो वीडियो देख रहे हो अगर आप ट्विटर पे देख रहे होगे कि he was signing fan jerseys and one fan gave it ulta with Maradona at the back.
Maradona, हाँ.
तो लुकाकू बोलता है तू साइड बदल, मैं आउट ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट आई वोंट साइन ओवर और अंडर मैराडोनास नेम, मैं सामने से. ऑल दैट बुलशिट आई डोंट वांट टू हियर. इज वन वो मतलब इतनी एक्टिंग योगेश ने मैंने जिंदगी में देखी नहीं है किसी से. ठीक है,
आने तो बॉलीवुड में चांस है उसको मतलब आने के लिए.
क्या बोलता है योगेश? बॉलीवुड में अच्छा रोल मिलेगा ना. वो वीडियो में दिखा था.
वैसे भी वो जो कौन सा मूवी है वो जो फुकरे वहां पे रिचर्ड चड्ढा के वैसे बॉडीगार्ड्स होते हैं अफ्रीकन वाले. लुकाकू आ सकता है वहां पे रोल करने के लिए.
लुकाकू कैन डू एनीथिंग इन बॉलीवुड एज लॉन्ग एज ही जस्ट learns a bit of हिंदी.
अब क्या करे रोमा का वो बोलते हैं ना गरीबी में आटा गीला वाला सिचुएशन है कि लक भी नहीं है उनका.
वो तो है यार, वो तो है.
ये देखिए ये सब कमेंट्स आ गए. Roma can't win with a 10-man Napoli. Trolling is on. UA पे आते यार, we'll take these questions, but let's start with what the title says, because one second, let me put up a banner here. Inter and we discussed a bit of Atalanta already, Ajay bhai. So if you want to take over the Inter side of things, ask me and Yogesh whatever you want, because Atalanta पे वापस तो आएंगे, but we discussed a good chunk of Atalanta as well with Yogesh. So क्या लगता है if you want to take over?
Yeah. So I think let's start with the performance, of Inter in the Champions League. So I think you guys have not conceded a goal yet, if I'm not mistaken. And तो परम, first tell me your thoughts about. एक तो हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि it's a different Inter in Italy. Obviously Inzaghi does rotate very heavily, and a different Inter in Europe. So I want you to share your thoughts about the two Inters, and somehow Inzaghi has found a balance, whereas obviously you guys are in the top half of the Champions League, in Serie A also just a point behind the leaders. So what do you make of this season and how it's panning out so far?
यार मतलब बहुत थोड़ा अजीब बोल सकता हूँ, इन द सेंस कि ऑब्वियसली अभी तो सब अच्छा चल रहा है, राइट? बट इफ यू रिमेंबर व्हेन द सीजन बिगन, इट वाज वेरी स्ट्रेंज because we were, as you said, we were conceding goals left, right, center. Or
and it's actually, before you go, it's very weird that Inter haven't conceded in the Champions League at all.
Yeah, वही मतलब फिर जब मैंने आपको याद है ओवर द स्ट्रीम्स बात की थी अबाउट द एरोगेंस, how it is difficult to replicate the exhaustion, the क्या बोलते हैं, the whatever fatigue and every factor I had considered, and I always felt कि the team had potential to do better. Now before I get into this, I just had to show this because I know Liverpool are top of the UCL, and obviously because they won all 5 of their games, but this is a combined UEFA Champions League and UEFA Youth League table, because actually Inter are top of the UEFA Youth League as well, 5 out of 5 wins. So this is like the combined. I'm glad they made this graphic here, because at least then on a combined table we are top with the UCL and UEFA Youth League points with 28 points. So that is there at least. I just had to kind of show that. But yeah, coming to your point, I feel आपने clearly देखा कि the confidence has grown in the team again. Players have calmed down a bit, taken a step back, especially after the Derby loss. So थोड़ा reality check मिला. I mean, if that's what it took to get this form back, I'm glad we lost the Derby. मतलब that sense of arrogance went down. Ki, yeah, you know what? We can't be messing around. Zielinski stepped up against that performance against Leipzig. Bapre, Zielinski, the way he played, Yogesh, I don't know if you saw it. That was prime Napoli Zielinski. मतलब he played as an 8, Ajay bhai, but वो Regista भी खेला. And my God, he was running the show, and the midfield was Zielinski, Hakan, Barella. I loved seeing that. मतलब मजा आ गया देख के. So like on the left, in the center, he ran the show. Uh, I mean, I feel clearly players have realized, and Simone Inzaghi, they're slowly buying into it. Ki, the rotations will have to happen. अजय भाई आपने देखा कितना लंबा सीजन है. एंड अभी अनफॉर्चुनेटली वही लाइप्जिग गेम में पावार्ड भी इंजर हो गया. मैं वही बोल रहा था थोड़ी देर पहले स्ट्रीम में. ही इज गोइंग टू बी आउट अंटिल लेट दिसंबर और अर्ली जैन. सो दैट्स अ बिग मिस. He's going to miss like 5 to 6 games at least, or 7 games even. So rotation is paramount. मतलब Simone Inzaghi has started experimenting it. Players have bought into it. DiMarco said it the other day. We don't consider it as rotation. We just consider it as like the group giving it their best on the pitch. He clearly said that we all play for each other. And I know these sound like basic words, but they actually mean it because in the inter group there are no issues per se right now. मतलब you don't have a Lukaku type character to cause a random problem. It's as simple as that. Or a Icardi. Only one, like even Korea when he scored against Hellas Verona, all players were praising him. They were like, he's been very professional and patient with his chance. I was very surprised to hear that. I don't buy it. I still don't like the guy. I hope he's sold. अगर नापोली को चाहिए तो ले सकते as a third choice striker योगेश. but yeah, very very happy to see this because and look if anyone says it's only 1-0 wins, the point is we are going out and playing there with a very different mentality. We go there, we play with a very defend first, not defensive. Matlab we try to defend compact, we try to get a goal, and then we assess very carefully कि दूसरे गोल की जरूरत है कि नहीं. We could have, Ajay bhai, again we are still wasting a lot of chances. We could have been 2 or 3 up against Leipzig. We wasted a lot of chances. And this I know is a more of a banter comment, but this is actually a bit concerning. I'll tell you why. Because Lautaro is drained out like that wear and tear from all these years of non-stop playing, and Taremi is also still not getting in that goal scoring form, whereas he does everything else, and Thuram also. So technically, one of your worst players is your most informed, like sort of impact sub. Like he came on and he played well against Hellas Verona, which should be a concerning point because you expect Taremi and Thuram to, like Thuram is already playing well. You expect Taremi and Arnautovic to do this instead of Korea. So maybe that is one concerning point. That other than that, I feel the mentality should not have been questioned of these players because it's fantastic. I don't think we should have ever questioned the mentality of someone like a DiMarco or a Barella or a Bastoni. So I can only hope, fingers crossed, all this continues. मतलब और कुछ नहीं बोल सकता मैं to close this. Uh,
Fair, fair.
yeah,
We
and
have Dhananjay in the house. DJ, welcome,
yeah,
man.
DJY is nice to have you as well. I know there was a UA game. We'll discuss it. I do not necessarily agree with this comment, by the way. First of all, he wasn't looking to leave, and he confirmed it in his press conference that he did receive. So for all the journalists saying that Man United never approached Simone Inzaghi, I don't think that's true because he said it in one of the press conferences that he was approached, uh, over the recent months by a Premier League club, and he rejected them. So with all due respect, if any Man United fan in the house, I don't think he was looking to join you guys, at least in the present day. And obviously, you have Amorim now. So, but yeah, I think I'm very happy. I can't complain. Uh, and even with the Ajay, just one thing to close with the UEFA Youth League thing. The funny thing is this, right? Because we are doing so well, we are top of UEFA Youth League. We have a great bunch of youngsters, and now the news, if you see, Inter is trying very hard to make an under 23 team. मतलब बहुत
Yeah, yeah,
accelerated, really pushing, and it is important because with the talent we have right now, ये talent actually important can integrate into this senior team because with the new owners they want younger players in the team. They want more younger players to come through. So agar this is the right time is all I will say. Basically, my closing thought is key. You have to get that under 23 team ready by the summer. If you don't, it's a failure. But other than that, very happy. Can't complain. I hope this continues even with Pavard's injury. Yeah, that's all I can say to close. I'll add some other thoughts later on after maybe we get some other DJ Bhai and Yogesh's thoughts.
fair, fair. I think let's move on to DJ and get his thoughts
Yeah.
on a European UA with 5 subs in total, if I'm not mistaken. DJ pulling out, quite it was quite an entertaining game. Could have gone either way, and I would say UA, getting that point away in Birmingham was quite remarkable considering that UA did not have a host of players.
Hmm.
So, DJ, your thoughts on these two games, the Milan UA game and the Villa UA game, where UA literally played with a decimated squad but still got a point in each of the games. Your thoughts, starting with the Villa game, and then your thoughts on the Milan game.
AJ, if we start macro, right? Like when you look at the data and you look at the stats, it's 8 wins out of 18. Doesn't make for
Yep.
very impressive reading. But I choose to, look the other way because what I feel is also we have to consider the circumstances and where things are at the moment, given how depleted the squad is. Last night, in fact, I thought, Juve again, they came out on the front foot. Intention was very clearly there. Hi, Chins. Intention was very, very
Hello.
clearly there. And what was very encouraging to see is they still try to play their game. They still try to impose their game. Mota was also very clear. I think he was very smart with the way he was bringing in, layering in the subs. But it's hard to see at this stage in the season you can't even put out a full subs bench. It's very hard. It's a depleted squad, and truth be told, they have kind of, been a little bit unlucky with the loss of Cabal and Bremer. That's a very, very hard loss, concentrated in defense, still putting out a very nice defensive output, given with what they have. Savona's kind of grown leaps and bounds in this time. Um, I think that aspect is kind of the defensive aspect. Funnily enough, has not been as badly affected as the attacking third. Vlaho now being out, it's indefinite. I hope to have him back soon. Milik has been out, so obviously Vea is the makeshift. I do think he works there, but what it's doing is it's kind of affecting everything behind him. Conceição, very, very, very strong player for Europe, but again, he's not a kind of guy you can play week in and week out. He's got one dimension to his game that can be found out. I see more as an impact player. You got to use him unpredictably. The Yildiz Coop combination is really where the issue is because what's happening is in the absence of a proper striker, Coop is kind of ending up going further up. Yildiz and Coop are overlapping in those key spaces, and that's rendering one of them, their efforts futile. So I think there you will kind of have an issue that Mota needs to sort out to actually see increase in output from the attacking third. The early indications are that obviously he's kind of playing it, trying to consolidate Juve's position till the winter mercato. At which point I definitely see a defender come in. I don't know about attack. There is talk of Zirkzee. Might be a good addition, to give Juve a run in the final months. But at the moment, this is where the issue is. For me, it's in the attacking third, and I think Mota needs to sort that out very quickly because Coop Miners is he's struggling, on a level where I really thought that he would flourish. But I think this number 9 issue is really beginning to have an impact, and I think we need to sort that out. In the middle, Locatelli, I think, has grown leaps and bounds. He was everywhere yesterday. I don't know. I'm sure everyone was watching Madrid pool, but Loca was everywhere, and Thuram is growing as well. So those are very encouraging signs. I think Fagioli needs still a little bit of game time, and we don't know where Douglas Luiz is. I don't know if he's coming back or not.
I mean, Douglas Lewis playing against Villa would have been poetic and maybe, making an impact would have been good. But Uncle Sharma has got this question. Are you worried about Coop Miners?
I actually just touched upon it. Yeah, I feel like what's happening is still this number 9 issue is not solved. Coop Miners is struggling because Yildiz is kind of moving into those spaces, and then what's happening is Coop is then having to go further up, and there he's getting isolated. What he kind of needs is the movement around him, which is not happening because he's ending up ahead of Conceição and Yildiz, and so his distribution is affected. And I think that is something that Juve need to sort out. With the right kind of movement around him, I think we'll find the Coop Miners that we saw at Atalanta. Also, we've discussed this. I don't know how much it is you could at this point ask this question again. Is Coop Miners that system player that Gasperini brought in? He will struggle outside of that ecosystem.
Juice.
Time to ask that question.
That juice. We discussed it before. So when me and Yogesh kickstarted the stream, we were talking about this only. Like we got that Atalanta juice joke out of the way, but yeah, we were touching upon Atalanta
And Param, for me, Juve Milan was probably the worst game of the season.
Worst
Both
game,
teams,
DJ bhai, worst
We
game,
wait
and
for
me,
that.
Chintan bhai and Ajay bhai all fell sick after the game the
We
next
all
day.
fell sick after that.
that's how bad it was. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
We have
I
not.
think
I have still not recovered. I don't know
Even
about
I'm still
Ajay.
not recovered. I still have a cold after that
so
game.
I think that's where, like, I feel like everything for Juve is happening in the final third. If they sort out that number 9, I think everything will work. Starting from there, falling backwards, I think everything will fall into place because you can see that the players have imbibed Motta's ideas.
Yeah.
And this Juve team is a hard team to beat. You can't beat them easily,
Yeah.
and they play their game. So it's just a matter of being effective in the final third, which is what I think is going to. It will perhaps change with the right kind of player in front of Coop. And I feel like
Yeah.
Vlahovic is not the answer at this moment in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny, those memes. Those memes are absolutely funny. The Allegri and Motta
Yeah,
memes.
Motta ones.
It's
Let me,
unfortunate. It
since
is the.
Chintan, wait. Since Yogesh is back on video, Yogesh, this is what top of the table looks like properly in Europe, right? Not in Serie A. Combined in Champions League and UEFA Youth League. Have a good look. Is Napoli there? Can you see Napoli, bro? ये ऐसा होता है, ठीक है, टॉप ऑफ द टेबल. ये देख ले ढंग से पहले.
यार अब अपनी टीम को टॉप पे डालने के लिए कोई भी टेबल बनाओगे तो कैसे चलेगा?
I mean, कोई भी क्यों, चैंपियंस लीग में तो नापोली दिख नहीं रही है मुझे कहीं. क्या 10th प्लेस.
चैंपियंस लीग इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है यार, हर सीजन चैंपियंस
हाँ वाह भाई, ये सही है. चैंपियंस लीग इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं. You heard it here first, guys. चैंपियंस लीग इज
वैरायटी रहना
वो है
चाहिए,
ना।
तो कभी चैंपियंस लीग, कभी बिना चैंपियंस लीग.
इसको क्लिप करके इसको वायरल करो, ये वाले क्लिप को.
Guys, you
Champions
heard
League
it here.
important नहीं है.
Champions League is not important. So I think we can expect another 10th place finish from Napoli after January. ऐसे ही लगता है मुझे. हार जाओ भाई सब गेम. But यार, all jokes aside, Yogesh, I think तेरा fix हो गया इंटरनेट. But Napoli का I think we touched up on here. But what are your thoughts in general of all that has happened so far? We'll get to Chintan bhai. But तेरा क्या thoughts है on the whole European? Bologna again lost यार. मतलब I'm tired of them. Like वो तो मेरे को बात ही नहीं करना है. मतलब वो गए, वो लोग, they are dragging the coefficient down.
You know, one thing I was just seeing my tweets because I had gone for this movie called All We See Is Light, and it was really boring. So I was just going through Twitter, and I saw that in the team of the week, Charles De Ketelaere wasn't even there, despite
It
having
was
5
quite
goals in it.
surprising. Yeah, quite
Very
surprising.
surprising. Very surprising.
If you think saying Champions League is not important is cooking, then maybe you support a club that's not used to being there. So not my problem. But how, Yogesh, give your thoughts here. बता.
क्या अगर योगेश भाई अगर स्कूडेटो नहीं जीता तो कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग चलेगा?
हाँ, वो भी बता भाई. कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग खेल ले
यार, कुछ जीतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, अब स्कूडेटो हो या फिर कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग हो, चलेगा.
हाँ, तो चैंपियंस लीग
यूरोपियन ट्रॉफी
वो बता अभी. देख योगेश, you backed yourself in the corner with that. But yeah, योगेश, एक बता मुझे, तुझे क्या लगता है रोमा और स्पर्स के गेम के बारे में थोड़ा, because I know Ajay bhai discussed it on his channel, but we have it coming up tonight, right Ajay bhai, if I'm not wrong? I've completely lost track of the dates.
Tonight.
And in like less than an hour we have Lazio playing to maintain their top spot in the Europa League. क्या लगता है यार इन दोनों, क्या लग रहा है? Do you think these two will be carrying, at least Lazio will be carrying that coefficient for Italy this time around थोड़ा, because Bologna खींच रहा है एक साइड पे नीचे, and then you have Inter, Atalanta, Lazio kind of carrying it. क्या बोलता है?
या तो लाजियो का तो काफी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है सो फार, लाइक दे आर टॉप ऑफ द यूरोपा लीग टेबल, तो can't complain. And it is quite surprising that a club like Lazio is doing so well in Europe. Like they used to completely abandon Europa League commitment.
Yeah, I remember.
So it is very surprising, and it is very nice to see for a change that Lazio is doing well. Bologna say we all did not have much of expectations since the beginning of the season, so can't complain over there. Like Bologna, we were
कुछ ज्यादा है लेकिन
that they would surprise.
कुछ ज्यादा हो रहा है ना योगेश पर, कुछ ज्यादा हो रहा है. मतलब एक गेम जीता नहीं है साला अभी तक ये लोग ने. बोल.
So it is a waste of our 5th place finish.
भाई ये सब बोल मत. Bologna is looking to collaborate in the Indian market. भाई ये सब बोल मत, ये हटा दो भाई.
I blame Atalanta for beating Bayer Leverkusen, is it, in the final, and then losing the next game, something like that, which which actually pushed Bologna to the Champions League, right? If I'm not mistaken.
But to be fair, given Roma's current state, I don't know if this is how things panned out. I don't know if Roma would have done well either. To be fair,
Roma in Europe would have been, a different team, because cup traditionally Roma has been a cup team. Especially in the Champions League. Over the recent years, despite whatever, and Mourinho himself is a cup manager, right? So he brought that mentality in कि league में कुछ भी करो, यूरोप में तो रिजल्ट निकालो तुम.
fair enough. Yeah. Look, Deepesh, मतलब चिंतन में क्या बोलते हो? Because again, Lazio पे तो हम लोग वीडियो करने वाले हैं very soon. वो last week रह गया था, but we'll definitely be doing it. But your thoughts here on Lazio, because I feel they'll still be top of the table after tonight. And again, it's quite impressive यार how these guys rotate, and like Baroni का वही एक key चीज है इस season की, the confidence he's shown in every player. I saw their recent game as well against Bologna, and it was not easy until Bologna got a red card. And बाद में एकदम मतलब Lazio ripped them, and one of the goals scored by Dele Bashiru, वो क्या finish था यार, मतलब कैसे उस angle से मारा. I didn't even realize how that ball went in. Like, I was very confused. Like, I know it looks very simple, but your general thoughts, because everybody, I don't rate their backline still, but even one of their, again, the most average players in their team, Samuel Gigo, he also scored. He scored the opening goal against Bologna, and everything seems to be going right for them. And now the test is going to start, the run of tough games where they play Inter, Napoli, and all these teams. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm always been saying that उनका midfield तो काफी अच्छा है यार. Like even on paper, I like Novella, I like Guendouzi, Bashiru भी अच्छा है. Yeah, it is working for them. उन्होंने थोड़ा बीच में tweak भी किया था. So Rovella जब से अंदर आया है, even for Italy, Rovella played well. Yeah. It is as we said when the tournament started. I don't think when Serie A started, Europa League started, कोई expectations ही नहीं था Lazio से. More or less, they were the misfits जैसे थोड़े इकट्ठा किए थे. I always will consider everyone a misfit when you have Nuno Tavares and Guendouzi playing for the same team. Like so it is working for them. And what I like is that they are not individually relying on any single player. So it is not that a particular player is doing outstanding. Romagnoli is still there and is still doing decent. You can still say he's passing on. Like सबको लगा Romagnoli was way past his prime even at Milan, but
yeah, we know that, Ravi. But to be fair, then Vasai and Virar is then dominating Mumbai. Then in that case,
Vasai Virar is a new South Bombay. It looks like.
Yeah,
South Bombay. होते हैं यार वसई विरार के लोग बेचारे आते हैं मुंबई में काम करने के लिए, ऐसा मत बोलो यार तुम. वसई विरार मैं ज्योग्राफिकली बोल रहा था, कोई इसको डिरोगेटिव टर्म में नहीं बोल रहा था मैं. आउटस्कर्ट्स है बस.
Yeah, exactly. And my point is that I do feel dip आएगा. I really feel like this is not like an Atalanta kind of run where a dip won't come. We all know that Atalanta are very important right now. Atalanta are in a big run right now. So Atalanta is that kind of a team जिसके पास players है, manager है जो back कर रहा है. So I think Lazio में शायद dip आ सकता है. But whatever they're doing, they've been doing quite amazing right now. They've been absolutely amazing. And best part, very entertaining to watch. यार, I think they've been very entertaining to watch. And Pedro को देख के तो बहुत मजा आ रहा है यार. It's it is amazing. And come on, it just shows that he has that drive in him to be there, perform. At 37 with his physicality, it's not that easy. But I'm enjoying. However hard it is for me also to say that I'm not even a Lazio fan myself. But however hard it is, you have to give it to them. They're playing well.
Also, Chins, like you see, the thing about Lazio is, right, there is no set 11. Exactly. Baroni also very much like Motta historically is rotating his players. I think he's pacing them very well. That's making a very important difference, because when you're pacing correctly in a balanced way, what happens is everybody understands everybody's movements. It makes you more unpredictable as a team. Your transitions are always consistent, even when the subs come on. And I think the other thing that's really impressed me about Lazio in terms of their team composition is a very nice blend of experience and youth. Which also I think in some way, and of course the experience is, they've got amazing experience from a Italian Serie A league perspective.
Yeah,
Vecino है यार.
Vecino तो मतलब वो is the funniest player you can have. But I agree with DJ. कैसा है ना, that has given Lazio an environment where it's total opposite of Roma, wherein I heard all these press conferences and interviews of all these Lazio players up until now. Rovella, Guendouzi, and all these other guys. Pedro, he to even mocked Roma, saying कि he thanked Roma for transferring him to the biggest club in Rome.
बुकमार्क किया मैंने ट्वीट, जैसा गैंग्स ऑफ वसेपुर में बोलते ना सबका जवाब देगा फैजल,
yeah,
बस बुकमार्क
yeah.
करके रखा हुआ, आने देना डार्बी डेला कैपिटल है, आने दे.
That's there. But the point is कि वो लोग में एक अच्छा टीम स्पिरिट भी बन गया जो इतने सालों से मुझे दिखा नहीं था. ड्रेसिंग रूम was never
Correct.
stable. Exactly, and Sarri
And
was
also,
not the
also
guy.
Param, the defense is not half bad.
Yeah,
When you
it's
look
not
at that lineup, it's a very okay. We won't say table topping defense, but very experienced defense. You
Yeah,
got
I
a
agree.
Pellegrini, you got a Romagnoli. Those are solid players, by any stretch of the imagination.
I agree, and that's the thing. Like the team spirit right now, Baroni, he's giving me like
ये
full
आते हैं
on.
जाते हैं.
He's giving me full on Simone Inzaghi vibes, like
Yeah.
from early
I
days.
think, I think a bit of Inzaghi and a bit of Motta because of the way
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
preserving the legs. I think that
Yeah,
it's a good
I agree
combo.
with
And he's a solid guy. He's got like an idea of football.
Yeah, I agree with you, and especially with that pen, the four-colored pen that you get for 10 rupees in India, that is iconic. If Lazio had brains, they would have turned it into a merch. But then this is the Lazio lineup starting. यार अब मतलब 11:15 को मैच है इनका against Ludogorets.
पेड्रो
हाँ बोलो.
बैक टू बैक गेम स्टार्ट कर रहा है.
हाँ, I mean, see, Pedro is Ajay will be missing this, but as you can see, yeah, I mean, surprisingly the lineup is not that different. अगर आप देखोगे
Yeah.
चिंतन भाई, Zigo is starting, Pellegrini is there, Vecino, मतलब I don't know how this guy operates. मतलब I used to have
But जैसे डीजे बोला, परम वेसिनो comes with a lot of experience, especially in the
that's
league. He is
yeah.
that guy who will know how to win the league games, and he's been there, he's done that. So he's that kind of a, पता है मिलान में नोसरिनो था. मतलब यार सबको लगता है बाहर क्या वैल्यू ऐड कर रहा है, but I think he just got the work done. So वैसा प्लेयर है. Even I don't understand वो और Lazari जब he start, like I don't understand that only at all. So मेरे को इस Lazari pace merchant है full, but
Yeah, he's
but that Zakagni, Lazari, I think वो थोड़ा they are Lazio थोड़ा काफी टाइम से उधर है. So I guess एक एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे वो एक बैलेंस ला रहे. But it's just entertaining, as DJ said, तुम लोग वही बात कर रहे कि जो जितना रोटेट कर रहा है, so they're doing it frequently so the players are not tired or saturated.
And that's what DJ said, right? You have to give credit to Baroni for taking that risk, because we remember the protests at Lazio when the season began. The fans went crazy. They were like, किस गधे को तुम लोग ने कोच बनाया. ओनर ठीक है, ओनर गधा है, we know that anyways.
ओनर का प्रोटेस्ट भी चल रहा था. उन लोग क्या
हाँ.
जाके उसका मतलब फ्यूनरल सब कर रहे थे उन लोग ओवर द समर.
Yeah, and it was crazy. And they have, what I noticed is कि ये सब players है ना, योगेश, like Noslin, all these guys, Hellas Verona se uthaya, Loom Chauna, Salernitana, they all have upward value. So if they see, अगर बुरा हुआ तो they are average players at best. They're not regressing. But जो अगर अच्छा हो रहा है तो you're at least getting some upward value out of it, because you're signing mainly players with potential at the end of the day. So I think, yeah, we will be covering Lazio thoda in depth again in a separate video. But I guess any predictions, guys, if you guys had to give for their game against Ludogorets in some time, any predictions? I'll start with Yogesh. क्या बोलता है योगेश?
Lazio should win it, yeah. Like given their form they are in, and given the opponents, like I think they should win this one.
Fair enough. चिंतन में आपको क्या लगता है?
Yeah, man, I think they want that unbeaten run going on also. Like you don't want to lose. So and plus they look fairly comfortable with this lineup, as you said. Midfield थोड़ी set लग रही है, and midfield is very important. So and I think they'll win it. I think 2-1 or something. I expect them to win.
Yeah, DJ, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Comfy win, guys. 3-1 Lazio. Pedro on the score sheet again. But I think also a goal from the middle.
Fair enough. Ajay bhai wants to just leave the stream, but Ajay, आपका क्या?
I'm going for a draw. Somehow Ludogorets find some magic.
Are you predicting that or you're hoping that, Ajay?
Yeah.
Hoping.
Yeah, I think
hoping
I think Lazio win, because also Ludogorets भी इतना कुछ Europa League में खास कर नहीं रहा है. They have only 1 point, and only thing I would be concerned about with Lazio is the tough run of games. And obviously, if anyone missed the news, भुलाई दिया को actually international break के पहले malaria हुआ था, and he like it was a very curious case about him, what condition he will be in, and no, like post recovery nobody knows what his situation is. Will his performances not be great right away? So that remains to be seen, what kind of Bulai Dia we get initially. So let's see, he's starting tonight, so let's see that. But I feel Lazio should still be fine and win this.
But
I mean,
Lazio play Inter or Napoli like back to back, na Copa and
yeah,
League
yeah.
or something.
So they play
Lazio
Ludogorets,
versus
Parma.
Napoli back to back है.
हाँ,
Back to
नापोली
back.
बैक टू बैक है कोपा और लीग में, फिर आयाक्स अवे है, फिर इंटर होम है, फिर लेचे अवे, और फिर अटलांटा होम, और फिर कैपिटल है. सो
Oh,
या
so tough run of the
अगर वो लुकाकू कुछ नहीं किया ना लाजियो विंस, तुझे आके मारूंगा मैं योगेश.
लुकाकू इज
पहले
लुकाकू
बोल,
इज
कॉन्टे को पहले बोल कि लुकाकू का पूरा व्रत कर, उसको डाइट कर, ही हैज टू स्कोर अगेंस्ट लाजियो.
नहीं, ये Lazio के साथ भी थोड़ा
But
midweek
that
game हो
said,
जाएगा,
that
तो
said,
I'm-
we should also do predictions for the Roma Spurs game.
Yeah, we are coming to that. We'll do that, and we'll be looking at a bit of the weekend ahead, because we have some big games there as well. But let's go to Roma Spurs. I know Ajay bhai did his preview. DJ bhai, let me start with you,
I'm
and then
also
Chintan bhai will go
also
to.
doing a
DJ bhai,
doing a build up to Spurs Roma with Joseph, who was
Oh,
working with
nice.
Sony. So at 11:30 we're
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
preview together.
Wow, interesting.
Nice.
We definitely will wrap up before that. But DJ, what do you think? Because Spurs just thrashed Man City at Etihad 4-0.
I missed the game live, but I was seeing the highlights. I mean, that was just crazy, yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't
But
have anything to say about Pep Guardiola, by the way. How he is self harmed, like how what he did to himself. Like I have no words to say. मतलब, any thoughts on that, DJ? bhai?
yeah, the only thing I hope is he harms himself a little bit more before the Juve game. But I think what's going to happen is, given Juve's issues, like Mithul very correctly said, I fear we'll play them back into form. Um, no, but anyway, jokes apart, I think, for me, the thing with Spurs is I see it differently than I perhaps most people will. I think they're going to play the game that is going to play into Roma's hands, especially with Ranieri around. They're going to play that high press, high line game, and what's going to happen is Ranieri is going to hit them on the counter. So for me, this is a good game to watch, good game to go against the rub of the grain, and I feel like the players obviously for Roma, can we see a starting lineup, Param?
I mean, I'll just find a predicted one. Ajay bhai,
It's not announced yet, but El Sharabi is starting, that is for sure.
Pakka?
I'll get a predicted one. Don't worry. But Ajay bhai, sorry, DJ bhai. Yeah, until then, you please make your point.
Yeah, I mean, like, so this is a good value for a Roma kind of imposing their a counter-attacking game, because this is the perfect setup for them to kind of play themselves into some momentum. Fully agree with AJ that what's going to happen is we don't read Roma for their league table form. They are a cup team by nature, so you're going to see a very solid Roma performance tonight. And for my money, of course, the people to look out for are Dobvik. You guys think Sule is even going to get a game? AJ, what's going on with him?
No, see, he did score, in the game prior to, Juric's sacking. So I think Ranieri will use him, but he's just not found his best 11 at this point of time. So probably I would say he would get some minutes from the bench, but not a start.
And
Fair
what
enough.
is your
I'll just pull up a predicted 11. Just
I
give
know
me.
Zalewski and El Sharabi would be starting on the wing with
Yeah,
so
Dybala
it's-
and
this is
Dovbyk
as
on
per,
top.
this is as per Courier. Hummels is likely to start.
Yeah.
breaking the duck.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, the day starting duck for sure. Yeah, midfield includes Manu Kone, Cristante.
Yeah.
Of course, Cristante starts Pesili and
But
Pellegrini.
Cristante against Premier League teams is different, huh? He scored 2 goals against Man United, 1 against Brighton.
Yeah, but yeah,
But AJ, this is a good game for Paredes to play. I mean, this is like the perfect game for him to play.
It's sad, but I think Paredes is out of favor with everybody. Basically, I think he's made up his
Paredes,
mind. He wants to go back.
Cristante, I would
Ranieri as well.
Sorry,
Ranieri as well.
Ranieri as well. It looks like.
very,
That's the case.
Below Cristante, wow. Roma's, of course, as you can see, Paulo Dybala is expected to make a full recovery and start along with Dovbyk, and I think that's pretty much the news for Roma. एक latest,
Dybala is gonna have a good outing if he plays also.
yeah,
So
El Sharawi,
you guys remember him for Juve against the Spurs, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. So
He
as
lost
Ajay
the
bhai
game
said,
against the Highline.
yeah,
yeah,
as
yeah.
Ajay bhai said, El Sharawi is expected to start over Angelini on the left. So
Which makes a lot of sense because again, El Sharabi does so much of hard work. He does defend, and you saw against Napoli also. वो defend भी कर रहा था. आगे he gave a through ball to Dobbik, which I was screaming, "Bhai, right foot," but Dobbik got to the left, and then the chance was gone. So I think El Sharabi
mm,
starting makes sense. I
yeah,
think Zalewski
Chintan
also
bhai.
could start because he's got pace.
Mm. Yeah, I you can see that, but again, we'll discuss the predictions. What I feel, but Chintan, bhai, very briefly before we close this, move on to the weekend Serie A action. Uh, आपके Spurs पे क्या thoughts है? Because I know it's a very polarizing club. I know you like Arsenal more, obviously, but what are your thoughts on
Although,
Spurs and where do you see?
sorry, Chins, before you go there, just Vicario, man. I don't know why.
Yeah, the
I
injury.
just
He's injured,
detest him
but
as a keeper. I don't know why. Like
he's he's injured though.
normally very neutral with that position, but I don't know. There's something very unlikable and it's very unsettling when you see Vicario in goal. I don't know what it is.
But he's not playing DJ. He's out
Yeah,
injured with an
yeah,
ankle
he's
injury.
out with a yeah. It's a bad injury, unfortunately, for the
Yeah.
guy.
Hmm.
So it is
Hmm.
definitely a big setback. But Chindan, by your thoughts on Spurs, yeah, क्योंकि
This Spurs is nice. Yeah, but you have to they are probably one of the fastest teams with Johnson and Udogi and Pedro Porro. Look at the pace, yeah. I think proper
yeah,
pace merchants is up
Kulusevski as
and
well. Kulusevski as
Kulusevski.
well.
But yeah, no, Ajay, it's so weird because Kulusevski is quick, but when you compare him to Porro and Brennan Johnson, unbelievable.
You
Udogi
can't.
on the
Yeah.
other side, I like Van der Veen also. He's injured. I know he's not
yeah,
going to be
Mickey
playing,
Van der
but
Ven, yeah.
he's we are coast to coast गोल मार के आया है यार like assist दिया था I think
Hmm.
गोल नहीं मारा था amazing I like Ange he's does not mince with words pretty direct है I have
Might.
नहीं, I have been a fan of actually I have been a fan of Madison
I
for a
like
very long
Ange.
time
Yeah.
yeah
If there is like one Australian I like, that's like rarely is like Ange Postecoglou, because matlab against all odds, Chintan bhai, if you'll remember, he did win the Asian Cup with Australia. Matlab that's
yeah
one
of
Yeah.
course
rare achievement that Australia have in football. But yeah, go ahead, Chintan bhai.
he's pretty solid he's pretty calm also like you देखो
Yeah.
उसको जो स्पर्स का प्रेशर नहीं लगता है द
हाँ.
जो भी मैनेजर स्पर्स में आते हैं उसको प्रेशर वो नहीं लग रहा है उसको आई लाइक मैडिसन आई हैव ऑलवेज लाइक्ड हाउ मैडिसन इज प्लेड आई हैव ऑलवेज लाइक्ड हाउ क्रिएटिव ही इज अनफॉर्चुनेटली उसको ज्यादा इंग्लैंड कॉल अप नहीं मिलता है और ज्यादा इंग्लैंड को खेलने को नहीं मिलता है बट ही इज वेरी क्रिएटिव आई सोलंकी का ऑफ कोर्स द प्राइस टैग बहुत हेवी है बट ही इज डन जस्टिस I like it. And Kulusevski, yaar, is outstanding, yaar. What quick feet, so nimble, so creative, yaar. It's actually I'm so happy to see him actually perform so well, yaar. From wing back positions, अभी किधर खेल रहा है, ना? Wing back Allegri खिला रहा था, अभी किधर खेल रहा है. So this Spurs are and one of भी बोल सकते हैं City का, but they beat City twice in a month. They
Yeah.
beat them, and they've got Pep's number. So like. Tottenham have got Pep's number. So I like this Spurs team. They're unlike any other Spurs team जो पता है यार कि कभी-कभी choke कर लेगी. I'm not saying this is a title winning team, but I know they're going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, it has been a slow. I mean, it's not been the greatest season either, right? For them, मतलब वो तो
Yeah,
उसके
of course.
reasons भी है.
Yeah, but again, I feel that without Benton Kirk, of course, वो क्या उसका comment I don't
Oh
even want to
भाई,
get
वो
there.
तो let's not get
मतलब
into
yeah,
it.
I
But
think that ban was
he got only in the Premier League, but the ban. He's playing in the Europa League, so
Oh, really? That is very surprising.
yeah.
That is
मतलब
what?
I have no
That
words
is
only. Like exactly, if you're banning someone, you ban them across like the. वैसे तो चिंतन में बैन की बात करो just to shift focus अपन दोनों के.
क्या था बेंटनकर का slur? What was it?
So it's a
He made
son,
a
right?
racial slur on Son.
So
Yeah.
basically, he said that they all look the same. He made a comment on that, and then he He said, "Oh, they all look the same." I'm just giving you the context. I don't want to say the whole thing.
Oh
So
boy.
वो line में उसने बोला था. So he, of course, he
Yeah.
had to issue an apology to Son and all.
वो
But
तो
वो तो करना ही पड़ा. But I think staying in Serie A, he kind of got too used to
वो
these
बात
things.
में
Like, हाँ,
उधर
ये
जाते
तो,
ही नहीं है भाई, उधर तो छोड़ ही दो. But
yeah,
speaking
but
of
But
Man
while
City,
you're there, while you're on the subject, what do you make of Jaguson's at Spurs? Like, how do you see
by
his
the
growth?
way,
I mean,
I,
the reason
I
I
have,
ask is, of course, he's a Juve
yeah.
yeah.
exponent. So
By the way, I've always liked him, and boss, last year I've seen making him some important tackles and
Hmm.
saves. He's been actually that crucial. I'm not a big fan of Romero, actually, to be honest. I think he
Wow.
has a red card in him anytime. I'm not a big
Wow.
fan. Probably had his
Chintan,
worst first game against Milan.
Chintan, you know who Romero looks like and plays like?
Gone by.
Arjun, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, with the tackles for sure.
With the
with
tackles,
the,
he looks
with
also
the
like him.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not a big fan. I like Van der Ven. मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. But Romero, I think, is one of the leaders over there. I'm very interested. वो 4-3-3 कितने different variations में Spurs खेल सकते हैं. And yeah, again, Udogi is of course our Italian prospect. So very happy to see him. Yeah, he's getting that chance. I'm a big fan of Sar, by the way. I think he's very well controlled. Ball control बहुत अच्छा है उसका. So him and Madison in the middle, I think they're doing wonders for Spurs. So that's why I find it a little hard with Spurs playing at home. I find it hard for Roma to get out of get a point out here. I just hope Roma scores. But otherwise, I see a 2-0 Spurs win. Otherwise, I hope Roma scores. But
We'll get
I
to
think this might just be one-sided.
we'll get to this. Was funny because I just couldn't ignore those guys. ये भी funny comment है, but आएंगे योगेश पे. Don't worry, we are going to get his thoughts on something else as well because I know without European football थोड़ा awkward तो होता है, but क्या ही बोले. I don't. I mean, I know he's
Joseph
trolling, but I
Joseph George. Joseph
yeah
George.
yeah. But यार, I think prediction से ही चालू करते हैं यार. योगेश क्या लग रहा है तुझे? Spurs या रोमा या Spurs?
Yeah, the game which I saw against Napoli, Roma play, it was quite a fine game. I especially like how Manu Kone was operating. So I feel this Roma team have little bit in them too, and new coach आया है Ranieri effect. Like it can work in Roma's favor, and as DJ Bhai was saying, these are like cup games. Roma is built for a cup competition, right? So I really feel Roma can nick this one. And when I gave a prediction yesterday on Ajay Bhai's
Yeah,
channel as well, I was going
Wow.
with a 3-2 Roma win.
very, very unlike
Interesting.
Yogesh, but yeah.
Very bold. No, we were also flaunting being top of the table as well, both of us, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
besides the point. चिंतन में आपको
Serie
क्या
A, Serie A, bye bye.
Serie A, bye, bye.
क्या
And
बोलता है?
I said
क्या
it.
बोलता है?
I think मेरे को तो लग रहा है कि 2-0 2-0 Spurs.
Yeah, fair enough. DJ, what about you?
I agree with Yogesh's assessment. I think this is going to suit Roma's game. Ranieri is a man who kind of understands this stage. I don't think they'll be unsettled playing away. In fact, I think it'll give them a little bit of momentum as a collective. And I think they will play on the counter. Dybala and Dobbik are a good match to play on the counter, especially if Dybala gets in early. I'd go with a Roma win. I know it's against the tide, but 2-1 Roma for me.
Fair enough. I'll go for a Spurs win. I feel Ranieri. I just generally said I feel Ranieri's job is going to be very tough. Even if I saw a courageous Roma against Napoli, मुझे tough लग रहा है. And I know Spurs is not like the most reliable club. Chintan Bhai said it. Like we
Yeah.
saw it on Ajay Bhai's stream as well. People saying they'll beat Man City, but then they've been beating Man City. That's been like their tradition over the years. But then
Yeah.
they'll go and lose some random game. So
Ipswich
that is
Town.
also.
Ipswich Town. So someone tweeted, Dutch had tweeted, if Spurs play Man City every week, they'll win the title. If they
Yeah.
play Ipswich Town every week, they might get relegated.
Relegated. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, there's so many with all you. I mean, not trophy wise, but I mean to say, जो phase जो दोनों clubs में है, there are so many kind of similarities. But I still feel Spurs will win. I just feel थोड़ा depth wise and everything, they might just nick it. Ajay bhai, what do you think?
Like I think with the lineup that was floated yesterday on the stream, the predicted lineup of Spurs, So that is without Kulusevski, without
Yeah.
Pedro Porro, because he does rotate. And now even
Yeah.
Vicario has got an injury. अगर ऐसा होगा तो मेरा दिमाग तो बोलता है कि भाई एक ड्रॉ तो निकाल सकते हैं. I would be very happy with a draw. I mean, away on the road
Yeah,
against
it's a tough
any
game.
Spurs
Yeah.
team. It's a tough game. So I would be very happy with a draw. I'll go, with that as a prediction. I just hope, because with Roma it's always an extreme between ecstasy and dejection. Those Barca nights and the
Mm,
wins against Chelsea have, the other side are the heavy defeats in Europe as well. And
yeah.
traditionally Roma don't do well in England. It's a horrible place that I think
Yeah.
I was saying the last
Oh,
time when
Italian
Roma
teams
won.
in general don't do well in England, so I
England,
wouldn't
yeah,
say
it's a
Correct.
bit
Milan
weird.
Unless you are in Inter Milan.
unless you are in
Or Atalanta. Or Atalanta.
Atalanta, yeah, Atalanta do whatever they want essentially. Matlab, we discussed that.
Yeah.
We'll actually circle
Yeah.
back on that topic, Atalanta and Inter, because we never got others' thoughts. We'll go back to that towards the end. But predictions, I think you've taken. But this interesting question, I'll get to a few of the comments because more times when I liye but Hirendra asked a very good question, and I want you guys to answer this like in one word. Don't elaborate. Your favorite Serie A player in Spurs out of all of these? I'll start with Yogesh. कुछ explain मत कर सिर्फ बोल.
Kulusevski, like how do I pronounce it?
कुलुसेव्स्की या
Kulusevski.
कुलुसेव्स्की चलेगा कुलुसेव्स्की फेयर इनफ. चिंतन भाई आप
Benton का.
मेंटेन को डीजे भाई.
Oh, not Kulusevski for sure. I love Romero. Yeah, I've loved him for a very long, long time. I was very sorry to see him move out of the league, and but also Dogi. I want to see him. I want to see him in the Serie A. So he would be my pick.
Fair enough.
Any one of those.
I'll also go for Destiny Udoji. What about you, Ajay bhai?
Cuti Romero, future Romanista.
Future Romanista. Wow.
लिख के ले लो.
Bold throw.
Roma gonna sign him.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. Let me just take a few comments before we move on. What time se liya nahi. Who remembers 2013 Roma Lamela? Oh, yeah. That was classic. यार, मजा
I
आता
never
था.
liked him as a player, but very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, under Zednik Zimeno, he was
Yeah.
unleashed along with
Yeah.
Osvaldo.
Depecia, this is true. Sassuolo are top of Serie A. Fabio Grosso, hopefully, this time will stay around and not make a mess out of this project, because the last time he got a team promoted was Frosinone, and then he left them, and then he went to Lyon where there was
Lyon.
chaos, and he got attacked. When he was in the bus, matlab, they were
Very
throwing
badly,
objects.
yeah.
It was messed up.
Yeah,
messed
exactly.
up.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope he stays this time instead of actually leaving. Yeah, and Pio Esposito is shining at Spezia. The news is that Inter will उसको बहुत pre-season में integrate करने का try करेगी, and then they'll take a final call as to whether he will stay or at the club or not. At least on loan if he goes out. Let's see. Having a good season only means a good chance to get a payout on your star players, as well as taking in the UEFA money rather than taking the chance to reinvest the money and keep up the level. Fair point, I guess. That's an interesting perspective, I would say. I want to hear अजय भाई और Lazio's performance. बहुत हो गया यार, मतलब आई थिंक अजय भाई अभी आजकल हम लोग उनको वही रोज क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, थोड़ा स्विच अप कर लेता हूँ मैं. आई थिंक सॉरी आई टुक दिस वन. वेसिनो इंटर लेजेंड स्टैचू एट यार, इसकी ट्रोलिंग कभी बननी होती है. I hope Lazio wins, but by subbing 6 players, so 3-0 loss eventually. Admin error. Only Roma fans can relate with admin errors, though.
Yeah.
Fonseca,
Of
yeah.
course.
Fonseca error. And that
Fonseca.
photo is iconic with Pellegrini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We discussed this, right? I mean, Spurs can't be with this thing trusted. DJ by will Juventus jettison Vlahovic in Jan, and bring in some firepower. I don't think
Those
Jan.
wages,
DJ
man. Oh, wages,
एकदम
बहुत ज्यादा उसका.
Impossible. Yeah,
Jan
they will never make a big move either from a managerial perspective or a key striker. A starting player move will be very hard in January. Vlahovic's future is also pending from a contract extension perspective.
Summer,
So
I
they-
can see it happening. Summer,
Yeah,
maybe.
if things don't change, and also there are certain contractual terms that they'd like him to accept. If that doesn't happen, independent of performance, they will put him on the market. I think there is talk of Zirkzee coming in on loan. It might be a good experiment, if at all, coming in Jan. But starting striker, independent of Vlahovic, impossible. Won't happen.
या बॉदन कैसा है ना, देख व्लाहोविच का पैसा, जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, एक तो इसका he earns a bomb. Let me just put it like that. He
Yeah.
earns way too much for what he's offering, and that has always been the issue here we have had on the panel from an objective standpoint. So definitely not in Jan here, because and also recently there was that issue of the comments he made na Chintan bhai with national team, where he said I have to do a lot of running around, matlab movement in at club level, and then they Juventus had to have a talk with him internally to calm
That
the
is
whole
just
situation.
that is, I think, just acting out. I think he's
Yeah.
this is not his forte, and I you somehow it feels like he's out of sorts. वो थोड़ा out of position
Yeah,
लग रहा है. But you
yeah.
know, Param, it's pretty clear. No one is going to pay this salary in Serie A for sure. So if his only alternative will be
ऐसा
outside
ही नहीं
Serie
है,
A.
unless
But
unless Yogesh,
outside also change in Jan. No one's going to sign him,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
independent of his wages. You know.
unless that
Only
smile of Yogesh is means that he's done already something to get
Unless
Vlahovic
unless there's a Vlaho Quara swap going to happen.
Quara is also linked with the move to Man United amongst
No,
all
but
teams.
I think Yogesh knows this. You know, na Yogesh Juntoli is the guy who bought Quara, who's the guy who
Yeah.
scouted him. So they have a great relationship, and in fact, he was one of the key targets for Juve in the summer.
योगेश
Yogesh
कुछ
is
बोल नहीं
my.
रहा, वो बोल रहे देखो मैं 10 दिन
I
का
don't want to
एक्सटेंशन
talk on this topic.
ये इज वरीड बिकॉज अभी तक वो सिचुएशन सॉर्ट नहीं हो रहा है, एंड
हाँ.
नापोली वो दे आर अ बिट वरीड, बट सी जस्ट बिकॉज समवन कम्स इन जैन डजंट मीन they leave. Look, he's in a completely different situation, Dragon. Matlab, look,
Yeah, yeah.
UA won't get the money they need in Jan. That's not possible,
And
and
plus,
they'll
why would they already need Ajay, Param? They already need to secure a few players for others positions.
exactly.
So
Yeah, they need
emptying
center
our play,
backs.
yeah. So for and
उधर
plus only club I can see him go to in the future probably is an Arsenal, because Arsenal
yeah,
need a striker, I feel, and he
yeah.
probably might just fit in, and Arsenal could have.
I think
Abhi
Vlaho
had,
would do very well at Arsenal, Chinch.
yeah, I think he'll do very well.
He
Yeah,
would do
And
very, very well.
I do remember when the whole jazz was that when Vlahovic did not answer Arsenal's calls so that he could sign for UA. If you guys remember that, he
yeah,
did
of course.
reject their calls. So ये तो थी, वो तो एक स्थाई एंगल.
Uh, Guys, by the way, I want to take the draw prediction out of Spurs Roma. I'm going for a Roma L because the probable formation of Spurs looks like Foster, Poro, Dragoshin, Davies, Udoji, Sar, Bisuma, Madison, Kulusevski, Solanke, Son.
Sorry,
So,
I know, yeah,
sorry.
no, yeah.
so I think
I
I
want
always
Son.
I think I,
I just
I,
want
I,
Son
I'm
to
going to take L and move
AJ,
on.
it's not the players, it's the high line. It's
Yeah.
going to suit Roma.
Let's hope,
Fair
man. Let's
enough.
hope.
Let's
Ranieri's a
see.
old hand,
Let's
yeah.
see.
He's not going to be flustered by the event. So I
See
don't know.
if
I
Yeah.
feel
if
positive.
if your prediction and Yogesh's prediction comes true, one beer each to both of you. The
Saudi
I
probable
will
also
be
I'll
formation.
also
will
take one.
will
I'll
answer
also
him.
take one just for free.
Chalo, done. Done. hai.
Yeah. Deepesh, I don't know if we need to, but I saw the surprising news from Tier 1 Inter sources that we will actually be considering signing a centre back, which I was very shocked with. But abhi, it makes sense
भाई
because
तू तो
Pavard
कब
is
से बोल
also.
रहा था, तू तो
Huh?
कब से बोल रहा था सेंटर बैक चाहिए तेरे को.
चाहिए पर अभी like I'm
And
like
Skriniar
चाहिए.
market में है वैसे.
हाँ कौन है?
Skriniar market में है.
नहीं 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 नहीं, I don't want that rat. He can go anywhere else. उसको कहीं भी भेजो, उसको सऊदी भेजो. I don't want him back at the club. But on a serious note, because Pavard also got injured, so they're worried basically at the club कि वो defense position में injuries constantly हो रही है. Like Acerbi also got injured. Whether or not he makes it to the Fiorentina game is dependent on his condition. So I do think they'll sign someone. Now अभी तक मैंने देखा नहीं है news पे कौन. Other than that, all I can tell you is कि apart from that transfer news wise, Jonathan David's agent was at the Inter Leipzig game, and Inter also had another meeting with his agent. Whether or not he comes again, I don't know. All I'll say is if he comes as a replacement for Thuram, then that's a big L. If he comes as a replacement for Arnautovic, then fair enough. That's
तो
all I will say.
कितने स्ट्राइकर्स चाहिए भाई?
क्यों नहीं
स्टार्ट तो
चाहिए
नहीं
भाई?
करेगा वो.
नहीं नहीं स्टार्ट नहीं करेगा, बट वो आई डोंट थिंक ही विल कम. ही वांट 6 मिलियन इन वेजेस यार.
टैमी
Too
चाहिए,
late.
टैमी.
टैमी नहीं चाहिए. टैमी किधर और चिपका दो, नापोली को दे दो, मुझे कोई
एक
नहीं.
गोल मारा उसने यार मिडवीक में ऐसा मत बोल.
Yeah.
असिस्ट किया, असिस्ट डमी
Assist
किया,
and
डमी.
goal.
Yeah,
हाँ.
yeah, I know. But yeah, this question I ask myself every day, so let's move on. Roma have difficult Europa fixtures. Yeah, this is not easy by any means.
Of course, of
Roma,
course.
yeah. So, but yeah, I think let's go to the Serie A. Thoda preview, not preview, but let's take predictions because we do have some games coming up. I need to wrap this up before Lazio game. So let me just pull up the this thing. But
Pull up the
until
table.
then,
One sec. Sorry, guys. Just before we go there, I just
Yeah.
wanted to round up the European evening from a Champions League perspective. Do you guys think Madrid and PSG are going out?
I think
No,
PSG,
PSG maybe, but not Madrid.
not Madrid,
PSG might,
PSG maybe. Yeah,
Dude,
PSG.
I think PSG have to play Atlanta also. No. Barca is
Not
playing
Atalanta.
Atlanta.
PSG do have to play Salzburg. जो एक benefit है because Salzburg have been terrible so far.
No,
So I
but
think they
PSG
might
still
be.
have to play big teams. They still have to
They
play
have to
one
play
to big teams.
Girona. Sorry, not Girona. They have to play. Let me just check. Girona हो गया ना उनका. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, Girona हो गया. Wait, Girona is not pending. Let me see. They do.
Atalanta have to face Madrid and Barca both.
We
Oh,
were
yeah,
discussing
yeah.
this. So
They have to
PSG
play
next year is going to
Salzburg.
Salzburg. That's what I was saying.
Man
I
City.
have to play Man City exactly. But then
That will be
again, yeah. So
Juve
Stuttgart.
have to play City.
Yeah, exactly.
In
I
how
agree
I,
with.
I think I agree with Param. I think PSG maybe will not make the cut. Madrid, but again we're seeing 5 games and 6 points.
But
Yeah,
Madrid have that knack of getting things done.
I mean,
exactly.
yes.
And
I
that's the
see.
thing, right? As DJ Bhai said, ये format ना योगेश थोड़ा मतलब it's been great and all, but it's also a bit funny because right now let's say Inter को ही तू ले ले हम लोग second बैठे हैं, but let's say we were to lose a game, we can go right as low as 9th or 10th. समझा तो so like that the margins are so close. So if PSG get that one win, as DJ Bhai said, they'll be right in the race to qualify for the next
भाई
one.
ऐसा नहीं है
They'll
यार.
be-
मिलान 3 जीते साले उधर के उधर ही लग रहे हैं. ऐसा लग रहा है 3 wins.
अरे
और
आप लोग का तो
Milan-
Milan's तो is the funniest because Milan if they just win the next 2 games they'll be in a conversation for top 8 because the fixtures are now relatively easy. Tough games are out of the way.
I think Milan can win all 3 and they should, if they win all 3 they should be in top 8.
Who do Milan have next, Gents?
Milan have Red Star at
Um,
home, which is I know they
Red Star,
did.
then
By the way,
Girona we have.
they destroyed Stuttgart yesterday. I मतलब
Oh, they did 5-1.
5-1.
Wow.
German.
Yeah, I was very shocked because
German
I
teams
saw
are-
Stuttgart against UA, Chintan Bhai, and then I saw this.
Yeah.
I saw Red Star demolish Stuttgart. I was
But
so
listen,
shocked.
Red Star
But
is
Param,
terrible.
it's damn unpredictable because
Yeah.
because of the way this we're playing like a league format Champions League, right? So form is so unpredictable.
I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Like,
boss,
and also,
so
Like
what-
completely
on
different
paper,
Stuttgart
Milan-
showed up against
Milan
Juve,
have is-
completely.
sorry.
yeah, same. Yeah, different Stuttgart showed up against Juventus.
Yeah, and also Milan do have to play Girona, which can be a bit, which will be tricky. I would say. I'm
But
not saying
Girona
Girona.
themselves- But Girona themselves are not that great
Yeah.
form right now.
Yeah, they're not
themselves.
doing well. They're not
But
doing well. They're not.
I think Girona is next. So if we win our next game against Red Star, pretty much on 12 points, but at least top 16, well 24 के अंदर तो आ ही जाएंगे मेरे को. Milan won't
Yeah.
miss out. I felt like
Yeah, I
Inter and
agree.
Atlanta I think are going through.
Agree. Param, who do
Inter and
Juve have
Atlanta are
after
definitely going
City?
through.
Yeah, UA, let me check. So somebody asked me to show the table, so I might as well Liverpool into Barca. Where do Italian teams stand basically? Atalanta is right there, and I feel they can, they can also probably go higher. Inter, Atalanta, you have obviously then Milan, and then UA 19th पे है, और obviously Bologna. तो
Bologna
पूछो ही मत.
last.
So Juve after City have who?
Yeah, I'm just checking that. Just
Wait.
give me a second. Oh, so we
We
have,
have Man City.
this thing. So this is Serie A games. Wait, what? You have Man City.
Club
You have
Brugge.
Club Brugge. Okay,
Bruges.
that's doable for you.
Yeah, Club Brugge is okay team. Matlab, they did
Yeah,
well
Club
against
Brugge
Milan.
away, Club Brugge and Benfica home, which is interesting because Benfica are back in form after
Yeah,
one
solid
winning two.
team. Yeah, solid team.
Yeah,
By the
so
way, even Red Star Belgrade, man, what a performance last night.
yeah,
But
wait.
see again, I feel like Juve, City are away, right? City are
Yeah.
Etihad.
No, City is away.
City is
Ah.
away. No? I feel like Juve for some reason are more a collective when they are away from home. So under Mota,
UA City is at home for you guys.
वही
Sorry,
बोल
याद
रहे
हुआ.
हैं. City is away. No, that's what I meant.
City is
No, I
City
meant
is
City
away.
are.
So,
हाँ.
City is away. Okay, so then what about the last game? Benfica is away or home?
Benfica is home. Club Brugge is away.
away.
Okay, got it.
But
Yeah,
Out of
like
two of those three, I think they'll make it. I
Inter
think we
also
can
have a
get
difficult
six.
pick. Inter have easy ones, I think now.
No, not easy. मतलब Leverkusen है ना next. Leverkusen away.
Boss,
Then this one.
Leverkusen got
Yeah.
they're getting humbled
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. I
Don't
mean,
get
but
me wrong.
Param, yeah, realistically, yeah, they're in the top 8. I mean, it's not going to matter.
No, no.
They're
All
there.
I'm
You can
saying is,
see it.
all I'm saying is basically, obviously, I'm not saying that Leverkusen have been the same, but still, you have to take in account the fact that they are still a top team. And मतलब Germany में again, Inter's record isn't the best in Germany. I remember historically, so I don't look well that much on historical records, but because again, this is a completely different Inter. But again, उधर एक चलो उधर draw. Even if we get a draw, I won't be too mad. But definitely, we'll slip down the table a bit. But उसके बाद ये है ना क्या है अपना who the hell, man? I know Monaco is this thing at home towards the end. How do I forget the uske pehle wala? I keep forgetting all the time. There's one more here. Sorry, it's Sparta Prague away. That we have to win. I mean, if we this is the golden ticket to qualification in the top 8. With all due respect, and Monaco also haven't been like, with all due respect, again a good side, but haven't been like that great per se overall. So beatable again. But
But why
let me हाँ.
the way Milan are playing, मेरे को तो भरोसा कोई भी टीम पे नहीं आ रहा है. Like I know
भाई वो
Milan have become.
पावलोविच कैसा खेल रहा था, मैं थोड़ा देखा. भाई
I'm like
साहब,
so
पावलोविच
Pavlovich, yeah.
बाप रे, it's terrible. I think City के goals funny थे जो concede के मिलान के देखने चाहिए. How are we playing such a... So it's just I don't feel मिलान के में confidence आता है. I know Milan have become that aura team, शायद goal मार देगी, but they are going to concede.
And now we
just
see the
outscore your opponent basically.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
surely make it to the next round. So it's not even up for
Yeah, yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I think Atlanta can beat Madrid and Barca both.
yeah,
I
Chintana,
think Atlanta will beat one. I think
yeah,
they will draw with one.
this is what me and Yogesh started the stream with, right, Yogesh? Because this time it's also for the revenge. The tides have turned so much. I never saw this when it was the UEFA Super Cup. Atalanta was wrecked with injuries. They were the ones in a crisis. If you remember, Chintan bhai, when we did the preview with
Yeah.
Bombay Penia, कुछ
Yeah.
नहीं चल रहा था. Everything was a mess. Lukman was looking to leave. Gasperini was not happy. Tables have turned. Madrid is the one in chaos and Atalanta is stable. पूरा उल्टा हो गया 360.
Camavinga, I just read Camavinga is injured.
Yeah, he's injured. He's injured.
He's out
So,
now for
Ajay
a
bhai,
while.
एक भविष्यवाणी है ट्विटर पे, मैंने नहीं लिखा है, मैं बताऊंगा नहीं किसने लिखा है. Atlanta will beat Roma, Madrid and Milan. 9 points out of 9. भविष्यवाणी आई है ट्विटर पे, बस.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. Like, I know the context, but I just don't want to say anything. It is what it is. Let's see what happens over there. Hereby Milan has defeated big teams though, so maybe just consistency issue. Milan are very strange. I mean, I don't know. It's a consistent.
Very strange, dude. Real Madrid को ऐसे हरा था कि हम लोग हर साल चैंपियंस लीग जीत रहे हैं, वैसे हरा दिया था कॉन्फिडेंटली.
And then Cagliari के अगेंस्ट तो भाई योगेश क्या बोलता है, अगर ऐसा परफॉर्मेंस देखने मिले तेरे क्लब को हर वीक की, तुम जाके रियल मैड्रिड को हराते हो एंड देन आके तुम लोग कैलियरी को नहीं हरा पाते भाई, मतलब क्या बोलते हैं
यार? ये तो ट्रेडिशनल सेरिया टीम्स का एट्रीब्यूट है, that we defeat big guns and we lose to sort of smaller sides. तो
yeah, fair enough. और ये रिपोर्ट्स को छोड़ो, बट ऑन एन एवरेज 16 पॉइंट्स आइडियली शुड बी इनफ टू गेट यू टू द
should be.
Yeah.
But no, Param, to actually see the table, see how closely contested
Close.
it is. I know
Exactly.
कोई गैप ही नहीं. सेरिया टेबल जैसा है because 10 points
Yeah.
पे कितने सारे अटके हैं. Some
Yeah.
teams like Brest and Sporting Lisbon are there, you know. So anything can happen. Arsenal are recovering now all of a sudden, you know. So as you said, Param, till you don't reach 15, nothing is safe.
Exactly. I'm not saying ना कि टॉप 8 अरे हाँ हो जाएगा, बिकॉज मुझे पता है अगर लेवरक्यूजन के अगेंस्ट हार गए कैसे करके, just hypothetically speaking, then it's all different. Then Inter is like probably 9th or 10th suddenly. Again, I don't think we will lose, but then my point being, if we lose, because now let's say Pavard has a major injury, he's not going to be there. So that's my point basically. So let's say, and even PSG, right, to that point, PSG can bounce back completely. एक वो साल्जबर्ग के अगेंस्ट विन
I
निकाले.
don't know, yeah, Param. I feel like they're not able to just pick up the momentum, you know.
Yeah. No, I
But
agree with
listen,
you.
I saw the PSV Atletico Madrid game. It was just sad. Like they were knocking on the door and Korea scored a winner out
Yeah.
of nowhere. It was so
My,
typical Simeone
my
game.
So
yeah, no,
typical.
one
Did
of
you
my
see?
one of my
Did you see the City
bolo.
3-love to 3-all?
No
Oh
chance.
yeah.
No chance, bro. That was and the goal, like Edison, what was he doing on that cross?
What was
The
he
pass,
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what was he doing.
Since he's
So
so hyped as a keeper, it's not even funny,
no,
Yeah.
man. Like,
DJ, it is the thing is it's not the player's problem. What is happening is it is gone into their head now. As in this losses, they've lost their confidence. They're shaken. City are
Uh,
now visibly shaken. You know.
it's
yeah.
also City have always been top down, right? Like you can see that Pep is only not feeling confident. That lack of confidence is
Yeah.
affecting the
My
players.
what he
He's
did
very
to
publicly
himself,
admitting it.
DJ,
Yeah, for
what he
his
did to himself, I feel that's
I
a
hope
bit.
he recovers. No,
That's
but
too much.
Param, I think he's so engrossed and he's so. I think he's not understanding Param. कि ये क्या हो रहा है? See, it's 3-0 up and 75th minute. He said it. You don't expect to lose at home. No
Yeah.
disrespect, but to fire note. So I think he's
And
so like क्या हो रहा है? Because it is a mental issue. You saw the first goal. कितना बड़ा gap at 3-0 up 75th minute. Why there's so much space behind? So there was no need. I don't think he's grasping it. He's channeling his inner Roma stay right now. जो 198 days Roma में spend किया है उसने वो channel कर रहा है बाहर that things can go wrong and see all of us guys we all know he's never lost 4 in a row. So as a manager he's never faced crisis.
yeah,
So this
and
is like a
that's
proper
the thing.
crisis.
It's five, no,
I
or four. It's
Now
five.
five. Now
now
five. He had never faced 4 also in his
yeah,
managerial
and
I
career.
thought
Yogesh,
he faced four at his original Barca stint, didn't he? Or three?
3. I think 4 was the
three.
first.
He opened
Yeah.
now with three. Okay,
उसका
3
उसका उसका रोमा का टफ स्पेल भी I know Ajay bhai brought it up on
He
social
needs to
media.
channel his inner Brescia now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like with all due respect, if there is any City fan, bhai, these are luxury issues. With all due respect, 4 games. I know losing 5 games is never good, but with what you have at your club, these are luxury issues. Let's be real. Come
And they're
face
still
some Serie
second.
A.
They're
Huh?
still second in the league, second or third in the league. So I
Yeah.
know they've lost
Face-
points
All
to
of that,
City.
after
Face-
all of that, guys, they're still in contention. But I
Yeah.
don't think they have it in them to go all the way
I
this season.
DJ bhai, I challenge anyone to face what Yogesh faced last season. Then test your resilience. That's proper test. From being champions to then
But
almost
boss,
like
listen, Yogesh, I'm so happy. Milan were the worst defending champions the previous season, and उन्होंने kick ऐसा ले लिया योगेश ने. Napoli finished out of Europe. So by the
they
way, DJ, Milan were the worst defending champions
yeah
in the history.
history of
After winning the league, how they finished, and Yogesh Napoli तो मतलब shot it out of the window. मतलब 10th.
Napoli wanted to break a record, so they thought चलो यही वाला तोड़ देते. But all jokes aside, यार थोड़ा Serie A पे move करते हैं. I'll come to
Serie A
the
cover
comments,
करने
guys.
में.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll come to the comments very soon because I know the Lazio game will start as well. But let's just touch upon a bit of Serie A. Not getting into too much depth. वही basic predictions ले लेंगे and then move on. Just give me a second. We start with what the hell is this fix? Sorry, this is funny. We start with a very funny fixture. Uh, one sec. कहाँ गया यार?
टेबल दिखा रहे हो क्या?
नहीं टेबल है फिक्सचर टेबल बाद
Table
में
दिखाएंगे भी नहीं.
ये अल्ट्रा प्रो मैक्स हराम वी आर स्टार्टिंग विद
Haram ball.
and is again this is a tough one because Hella I mean क्या लगता है अजय भाई इधर I'll straight away just ask you guys your predictions. अजय भाई I'll start with you. Cagliari, Hellas Verona, I mean
Draw.
Cagliari
Draw.
draw. Just to show you the table position, of course Hellas are 14th and Cagliari are 16th and you're going for a draw. Chintan bhai, what about you?
I think Cagliari will win it. So I'll go with 2-1 Cagliari.
2-1
I hope
Cagliari.
they go ahead with the Milan results. किया कुछ करो यार. साला एक ही positive result है उधर उनका.
Yeah, they've been making comebacks. Chris tha chat pe. They made a comeback against Genoa in the last second against Patrick Vieira's Genoa,
Yeah.
by the way. मजा आ गया देख के because I don't think Patrick Vieira is a good coach. But what about you, DJ? What do you think is going to happen?
One love Cagliari.
Same. I'm going for a 1-0 Cagliari. Yogesh?
Cagliari wins.
Wow. Cagliari को सब लोग अचानक से एकदम We have a rivalry, by the way. Como Monza.
Yeah.
Actually,
finally.
the
Monza.
rivalry है. If nobody knows, it's actually a very heated rivalry. 80s 90s में इन दोनों के फैंस के बीच में बहुत मारामारी हो चुकी है मतलब इन स्टेडियम्स एंड ऑल लॉट ऑफ स्टेडियम chaos. But what do you guys predict? Yogesh, तेरे से start कर रहा हूँ मैं this time.
Both teams are on a bad run of form here, but
Exactly.
I would pick Como to nick this one.
Fair enough. Chintan mein?
Yeah, I hope Como nicks it. Like, I want Como to do well there, actually. Although Nesta and Monza are
18th
there.
versus 18th versus 19th, by the way. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a dull draw, yeah, because Monza, when they want to play out a draw, they do it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think it'll be a 0-0.
yeah. And I echo Chintan mein. मुझे लग रहा है 0-0 because Como will be missing Dosena, and Como is looking flat. I feel I didn't expect Como to invest heavily this window because again this club has seen bankruptcies in their history, but कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा इनको जान में.
Yeah,
And I do expect a lot of
injury list देख परम, Gagliardini, D'Ambrosio, all on the injured list.
भाई मतलब क्या ही बोलूं. But yeah,
As-
Chintan bhai very well said this ना जब भाई Monza when they defend, they
Yeah.
are off late defending very well. So I see a 0-0. What about you, DJ bhai and
I'm
Ajay
going
bhai?
for I'm going for a Monza win. You know, Milan Juric's
Ooh.
supremacy. Nick it
Wow.
just because वो थोड़ा spicy derby है ना, and
हाँ.
Galliani probably will just spice it up even more.
Yeah, and actually we have covered like the comparison of these two clubs in a very old live stream. So do check it out. Matlab, when if you remember when we were previewing the season, we had compared and kind of talked about the rivalry in depth. But DJ, bhai, what about your predictions?
I think this is going to be very reminiscent of Juve Inter. It's going to be a high-scoring draw.
Wow.
Like I think like a 2-2, 3-3 kind of draw.
Fair
Heated as
play.
well.
Yeah, fair play. मजा आएगा वो actually मजा आएगा given the
I'm
rivalry.
the only one going for a Monza win, by the way.
I don't think they'll sit back. I think they'll go guns blazing, both teams.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Only
Sorry,
one
Ajay bhai,
going
you were
for a
saying-
Monza win. Only one going for a Monza win. Believing
Yeah,
in
only one going
Milan
for a Monza.
Juric.
Yeah. Chintan bhai, आपका game Milan Empoli and ठीक है Empoli started the season very well and then थोड़ा fall off हुआ. But they still are sort of a resolute team. मतलब when they want to be, देखो मतलब injury list तो बहुत ही बड़ी है. The Fazzini is a big miss. Deschelio, the king, not a big miss per se, obviously. But आपके भी obviously Benacer, ये तो अपने को पता है बहुत टाइम से मिलान के misses. पर आपको क्या लगता है? Are you expecting a routine win of sorts? Because I do think Empoli are a bit tough to break down. But क्या लग रहा है आपको?
यार पोस्ट चैंपियंस लीग हाई तो यार कुछ बोल नहीं सकते यार. It's become so unpredictable right now. I think playing at San Siro we might nick this. I don't think it's going to be an entertaining game because Milan will be a little tired and wanted to rest. We wanted to rest Liao, but we had to call him off at halftime only immediately. So I'll go with a 1-0 Milan win. But it's very hard for me to say that Milan will not concede. So I'll go with 2-1 Milan now.
2-1 Milan. By
Maybe
the way,
laboured 2-1. Let me specify that. I won't be surprised if
Laboured.
we go 1-0 down. A very laboured 2-1 victory. And I'm just going for a victory because of my heart.
fair enough. Sorry, and by the way, I just forgot to say this. आप लोग comments में भी please आपके predictions बताओ with the team names. If you haven't given from start, please do so. Ravi said Hellas 7-0. I guess he's become like a huge Hellas Verona fan. 1-1 Como Monza says Mir. 1-1 Milan Empoli plus Fonseca sack. इसका तो मतलब एक next level Fonseca hate है. But what about you, DJ? What do you think? DJ by Yogesh, Milan Empoli क्या हो रहा है?
I think Fonseca is going to turn it on with this one, and I think Milan will play with swagger. 2 love.
Two love and sorry, Yogesh I think went away. अजय आपको क्या लग रहा है?
I think I echo Chintan's sentiment. It's going to be a very laboured win, but Milan will just nick it. एकदम मतलब ऐसा सो जाओ ये मैच देख के वैसा मैच रहने. But I think Milan at home they'll probably nick this one.
Yeah, Ravi says 3-0 Milan win. Morata brace plus Tammy Abraham goal and 2-0 for Deepesh. I think Milan जीतेगा. But I just जैसे चिंतन में थोड़ा laboured शायद होगा because Empoli को मतलब हराना इतना आसान चीज नहीं है. But again, you know, when Fonseca, that's the thing with Milan. When Fonseca turns it up, then they are very good, and then suddenly some days they are not good. So I still feel Milan wins this regardless, but thoda close side. Yeah, this game, Chintanwa is going to be the funniest. You have
Yeah.
Vincenzo Italiano versus Eusebio Di Francesco. Sorry,
बाप रे.
someone said something.
पहली बार तो मेरा पोबेगा नहीं रहेगा इसके अंदर यार.
हाँ,
Suspended.
red card. Oh my God, his red card against Lazio. Did you guys even see it?
Yeah, of course, man.
No.
मतलब what a क्या बोले, I'm very. I knew we all predicted Bologna not to do well in Champions League, but yeah, this is too labor. This is like a, thank God Leipzig is also there downtrodden with Bologna. Otherwise, it is very embarrassing to have a team representing Champions League. And I understand your manager was taken, your best players were taken, but this is very bad. Liverpool's performance was a little inspiring, as in everyone was saying me, अरे यार इतनी भी बुरी नहीं है बोलोनिया, but उसके बाद सबने देखा है कि they've been quite terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It was very difficult to comment here. I'll go with a draw, man. I don't know. I don't like either of the teams, so I'll go with a draw. I just love Venezia's jersey. वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Other than that, I'll go for a draw.
Yeah, fair enough. No, the only reason I mean, the thing is, I asked the question in this game ki when will Di Francesco get sacked? I still
वो
can't
तो नहीं
understand
होने
how
वाला है
this
भाई.
guy has not been
पोपे का
sacked.
मेरे को लग रहा है कि फोन्सेका भी निकल जाएगा, ये नहीं निकलेगा यार.
Yeah, matlab, he lost to Lecce. My problem with the guys, look, he's not been the same, whatever we've discussed. But the way they've been playing, right, Chintan, भाई ये गेम में बैठ के देखा, ठीक है, Venezia actually dominated Lecce. They hit the post, they came close, they missed like inches wide shots. They should have actually won this game 4-5-0 if all those chances were converted. But Eusebio Di Francesco's character translates into his players with all that negativity and all. We've seen this in the past. And this is what holds them back. And I can't understand how he has not been. I just don't get it. I always feel he should have been the first coach to be sacked in the league because he's useless, anyways. And he's still there. He has a job. Matlab, if you guys are down in life, just look at Eusebio Di Francesco's career and you'll probably be inspired. Ki you can have a bad day, you can really be bad at something and still hang on to your job.
भाई
That's one.
अजय बोल रहा है भाई, I've lived through that.
but he at least did something at Roma. Look at this useless guy, man. Like 8 points, like just terrible. But yeah, I think Venezia will lose. I think he's so bad that he'll give Italiano his confidence back, and then Bologna will start doing well. धीरे धीरे I feel. योगेश क्या लगता है तुझे इस गेम के बारे में?
तो बोलोनिया का थोड़ा सा मिनी रिवाइवल हुआ है सेरिया में, तो दे हैव बीन प्लेइंग अ लिटिल बिट better, so I'm expecting them to continue on that path and actually win this game.
Fair enough. DJ, what do you think?
I actually find this one a hard one to call. I think Bologna a little unpredictable. I'm not seeing the revival per se.
Yeah.
Maybe a draw, yeah. A hard one to call though. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's such a it's like a weird game, yeah. Like really, but I still feel Venezia will lose because just that as long as you have Di Francesco, I don't see anything happening. Yogesh, sorry, Milan Empoli. What do you see very quickly because to cut the right streams, Milan win.
Since Milan are no longer in the title race, I wish them all the best.
काट दिया भाई इधर इसने.
We need someone to clip these Yogesh का जो one liners है ना, उसको clip करके एक compilation बनाना चाहिए.
Sir Yogesh.
Just to look at the
I think Milan will win this year. Like, I'm not worried about AC Milan anymore.
अभी तो लड़ाई लगता है चिंतन और योगेश की लड़ाई. अभी वो बैंगलोर चला गया ना, so he's not worried.
Why do you think he's talking like this? No, he's not showing up for the Charcha meetup and all with the 12 Milan.
सही है.
आराम से बात कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, Udinese Genoa guys. I feel again. I think
बताओ, Alexis Sanchez वापस कभी आने वाला है?
अरे exactly. He signed with all that hype and he's not played a game ever since.
When are we going to see him? I don't understand.
Never.
I'm so hyped. And
Yeah,
I'm very. I like Udinese. Like, I think this season is good, but इतना मतलब वापस he's coming home. वो गाना बजा दिया था. I don't know when are we going to see him permanently injured. उसका यार वो राफेल वरान जैसा ना हो जाए कि बाद में रिटायर हो जाएगा उधर से.
Yeah, I remember Inter fans who said renew his contract. Now take that, man. He's not been fit since the summer. So, but I do think Udinese will win. Chintan, में आपको क्या लगता है? Because I don't.
Yeah, I think they'll win it. Atlanta's game also, I feel it was very hard, yaar. Harsh.
Yeah, that was robbery. I'm sorry, that was pura robbery. Yaar. वो handball था Atalanta.
Exactly, I think very harsh that was. So they results unfortunately last 2-3 games they have not been with them, but they are still a decent side, yaar. And as you said, Param Barabar bola, I don't think Patrick Vieira has it in him to be a good manager at this level. Maybe he can manage smaller teams, but यार Serie A का pressure में तो सहन ही नहीं कर पाएगा. But and I know he's getting Genoa also getting their players back, but
Yeah,
from injury, Friendroop is also back. But I don't see
yeah,
them do anything. Udinese are a very strong, difficult team to beat. So I'll go with an Udinese 2-0 victory or something.
fair enough. Mir says Udinese overperforming, which is fair, यार. But the thing is ना, Mir मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. Go watch Italian football podcasts episode with Maduka Okoye, their goalkeeper. He's explained how their coach works, which is quite interesting. I'll share that video or retweet it or something. So yeah, just I like how they're working this season. I feel they'll win. What about you, Ajay bhai, DJ bhai, and Yogesh?
Going for Udinese win. Udinese win.
Fair enough, DJ bhai.
Udinese, yeah, but like they become a bit of a juggernaut. I'm feeling a little embarrassed at the start of the season. I had them down for relegation.
Same 50. You remember, DJ, all of us had them like at
Yeah, yeah.
15th as
I
a
want to
group.
we'll see that table in the winter break. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
But
of course, we have
uh,
to.
they've created a little bit of a run. Let's see how far they go. But
Yeah.
chalo, as long as it's a black and white team, why not?
योगेश क्या बोलता है? पैट्रिक वियरा कुछ
Yeah,
करेगा कि नहीं?
likewise, Udinese will win this one.
फेयर इनफ, फेयर इनफ. अजय भाई, आपकी आपकी फेवरेट टीम और पार्मा, मतलब पार्मा आई एम अ बिट वरीड दैट मतलब आई नो दे हैव लॉस्ट की प्लेयर्स टू ACLs एंड ऑल एंड दे आर सफरिंग एज अ रिजल्ट, but this is not the Parma I thought I would be seeing. Look, they have a bad injury list and all, but I still think they are going to lose Yogesh to Lazio. मुझे लग
They
रहा
will
है
lose. They will lose to Lazio. They will lose to
या
Lazio.
क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई? आपको क्या प्रेडिक्शन दे रहे हो आप?
Lazio win sadly. Parma aren't good enough with all these injuries as well. So
या योगेश क्या बोलता है?
Yeah, similar thoughts there. Parma started the season quite well, but they have been going like form bhi chala gaya unka, and the game is also not coming up. So I believe Lazio, and considering the form which Lazio are in, I would definitely back Lazio for a win in this one.
चिंतन एंड डीजे आपका?
Lazio.
Yeah, I
सेम
think Lazio will win this.
सेम एंड आई थिंक या लाजियो वो फिफ्थ दिख रहा है टेबल पे, बट ऑब्वियसली एट द टाइम बिकॉज इंटर एंड फ्योरेंटीना विल बी प्लेइंग लेटर, दे विल बी in that top 3 at least, and they'll be looking to win this game for sure to move up थोड़ा. पर इसके बाद just let me take a few comments. चैट तो ले रहा हूँ यार रवि, बट या अनसब्सक्राइब किया
परम
नॉट माय
परम परम पहले अजय को भी जाने तो पहले सब प्रेडिक्शंस ही ले लेते ना.
हाँ.
फेयर इनफ प्रेडिक्शंस ही ले लेते. टोरिनो नापोली क्या बोलते हो? योगेश तेरे से ही चालू करता हूँ यार.
So Napoli का जो tough run of fixtures था, that is coming to an end, and we are still with a 1 point lead. So it has been a very good time. तो after this थोड़ा सा fixture list अगर आप देखोगे नापोली का, तो it is a little bit more manageable. So I expect the team to be in the similar form, and this one again a 1-0 win.
Fair enough. Chindan bhai and Ajay bhai, what about you? Very quickly.
Napoli win.
Same, I think 1-0 labored win. Undeserved भी हो सकता है शायद, but 1-0 Napoli.
Yeah, undeserved तो common हो गया. DJ bhai, what do you think?
Agree with Chins. Napoli against the run of play. One love.
Yeah, luck has been on their side, but I'll go
I
for
think
a draw.
it'll be a routine win for Napoli. I feel, to be all fair to you again.
Routine
Because
win, yeah. I think
Torino have been struggling with the injuries and all.
yeah, बहुत ज्यादा injuries, कुछ ज्यादा ही है, but I still feel a draw. I don't know. It's, by the way, it's mentor versus mentee. मतलब Conte versus Vanoli. Vanoli was part of Conte's staff at Inter and in many other clubs, so that would be interesting. I feel a draw. ये game I think obviously is the most talked about game in the week
Game of
over
the
the
week.
weekend. By Fiorentina Inter, for which we are planning to do a watch along if time. I mean, if if any one of us is free. क्या लगता है आपको क्या होगा?
High scoring draw.
High scoring draw, fair enough.
Likewise, 3-all draw.
मजा आएगा.
draw for चिंतन में आपको क्या लगता है?
I think we have Inter's juggernaut is beginning, so I'm going with a 3-1 Inter win.
Fair enough. DJ, what about you?
Pick of the games this weekend, more so than Roma, Atalanta also. I
Yeah.
would go with, if not an Inter win, high scoring draw. Looks
Fair
like
enough.
a 3-3 kind of game. Inter have the edge, but it looks like that kind of game. High tenacity, high intensity, high pressing, 3-3 maybe.
Fair enough. Acerbi, Fratesi, if are expected to return by Friday, so let's see. If they do, then I'll be a bit more optimistic. Goodmanson is expected to be back, and Adley is being rested tonight for the Inter game. So those are some dynamics. But मुझे लग रहा है if these two return, then I'll be a bit more calm. But I'm going for a very scrappy 2-1 Inter win. Very scrappy, मतलब कैसे तो करके जीत जाएंगे ऐसा type. But I'll move on. Let's say UA क्या लग रहा है? I'll come to the comments, guys. Ajay bhai is also in a bit of a rush. Let's say UA, DJ bhai, what do you think?
Hopefully Juve back on track.
Yeah.
Not very far from the top, so Juve win for me. And
Fair.
and hopefully Coop Miners on finally breaks his duck, scoring duck. I want to see him score. Good good value for money if he scores in this game.
Fair enough. Chintan bhai, Gianpaolo versus Thiago Motta. क्या बोलते हो?
No, yeah, I think what DJ said, difficult to break Juve down for sure. So I don't think Lecce has it in them to break them down. I'll go with a 1-0. Juve might just score early and close the game down. Probably win it in third gear,
Goal from Coop Miners, Chins.
No, I don't know. I don't see him. I think
Yildiz?
Timothy Weah.
Yeah, I go with Yildiz. Coop Miners looks out of place, and I'm upset because not that I'll be very probably unpopular opinion. Not a fan of Coop Miners, but big fan of Yildiz. So I'm upset he's eating up his place.
Fair enough. Fair enough. योगेश क्या बोलता है? अजय, what about you?
Juve win. Routine win for Juve.
योगेश.
I would like a routine draw for you.
Hey, Sir Yogesh.
यार मस्त ट्रोलिंग चल रही है रूटीन ड्रॉ.
He's dropping it tonight, yeah.
या वो बैंगलोर में बैठा है ना, कंफर्टेबल हो गया थोड़ा.
That's the thing, ना.
Yeah,
मुंबई में आके बात कर योगेश, Sir Yogesh.
he's coming na. He's coming in December or something. तब देखते हैं.
No, honestly, yeah, this is the roughest patch for Juventus. Like having so many players injured, it is very unlucky for Juventus. So I feel if they manage to win this one, it will be huge. Like because with the injury list that they have, it's quite terrible of a situation here.
Yeah, you don't
Fair
see this
enough.
often. Look at that injury list. Yeah, you don't see this.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
see this
Yeah,
very
but
often.
guys, all that said, and all the draws they're picking up, they're still not very far from the top. Which is
Yeah.
they're kind of consolidating. And I have a feeling like they're playing it out till Jan and being very cautious. In essence, also pacing themselves. So I'm not sure that I'm completely unhappy with the way the season's turning
Yeah,
out
I
so far.
understand.
You know.
अजय भाई, आप कमेंट्स यही करते रहो, दिखाते रहो साथ में, so that way we are covering as well. Yeah, I think UA wins, but just would be, I do feel थोड़ा Lecce से spirit दिखेगा because of the Venezia win against Venezia, so at least थोड़ा bolster रहेगा. I think थोड़ा tough होगा UA के लिए, but I think UA will win this. But yeah, another big game here to close this, Ajay bhai. मतलब again, not the most ideal time for you to watch the game, and because एक तो Monday को और 15 को Monday को है. क्या बोलते हो यार, क्या होगा इस गेम में? Pisili is unavailable.
पहले ही बोल दिया, मेरे को उसमें बोलने का जरूरत है नहीं, किसी ने लिख दिया है, तो I don't think so. Atalanta are too good, man. I mean, very very difficult for Roma to get anything out of this game. I see an Atalanta win away.
Wow. Now whether that's genuine or whether
Genuinely saying it's very difficult to beat them.
Fair enough. चिंतन भाई क्या लग रहा है?
Yeah, it is true actually. It is hard to beat them. But I don't know, man. Like it depends on today's result also. I think how Roma turn up, कैसा energy रहेगा. Unfortunate for Ranieri, ये बहुत सारे. He's not got chance to set his team right. But yeah, I think Atlanta might win it 2-1 or a draw. But I think Atlanta will win 2-1.
Fair enough. मुझे भी Atalanta win लग रहा है, या फिर at best अगर कुछ रोमा निकाले तो draw, but I think Atalanta wins also because I think we have to consider यार Atalanta physically एक अच्छी team है और रोमा में
Look,
it's just not there.
They played Tuesday, and then they're Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
Monday.
exactly. You guys
Plus
are
their
playing.
juice. Plus their juice. So,
Plus their juice. Yogesh and DJ, what do you think?
Sorry, say again.
Predictions.
For me, I think a lot of what happens in the week now tonight for Roma, a good win will kind of give them legs for this game against Atalanta. If it's a bad result, they will still consolidate. But very Jekyll and Hyde week for Roma. I'm expecting a good night for them tonight against Atlanta, though I kind of see Atlanta nicking it 2-1.
Fair play, fair play. Yogesh, to close with you.
Yeah, similar thoughts. Yeah, like Ranieri has came in a very difficult run of games. So Roma भगवान भरोसे ही चल रही है. I see Atlanta winning this one again.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess Atalanta, मतलब बहुत confidence बढ़ रहा है. We'll just close this stream very shortly. I know Ajay bhai has to leave as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just take a
I'll
All
last.
right,
make a
guys.
move now.
I'm sorry. I'm so
You guys
sorry. I
hop
have to.
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the Spurs Roma once you guys are done.
Yeah, sure. We're just wrapping it up in the next 2-3 minutes, anyways, guys. So Ajay
Ciao,
bhai
ciao,
and DJ
ciao.
bhai, I think both are leaving. So see you
Ciao,
guys soon.
guys. Ciao,
Chintan bhai,
ciao.
me and me, Yogesh, will wrap this up very quickly.
For
Guys,
very
again,
great. Ciao.
सी यू गाइस वेरी सून गाइस अगेन सब लोग बीमार थे तो आज मतलब ये वीक थोड़ा स्लो था सो डोंट माइंड नेक्स्ट वीक विल बी बैक विद प्रॉपर कंटेंट we'll be back. I think Chintan will be dropping the Lazio video over the weekend or something if time permits, and we'll
Uh-huh.
start our FM save on Monday. Very slow week because of the illness. Chintan by all of us except Yogesh Bangalore में
Yeah.
chill कर रहा था जो all of us were screwed. पीक कितना है देखते हैं बट आई थिंक सो फार इट हैज बीन ग्रेट आई थिंक चिंतन भाई हैज समड इट अप एवरीवेयर also on M&M I remember ki very good team playing so well if you can revive a player like Moise Keane then you are a very good coach I feel I think that's
Yeah.
yeah I
He's got his
predicted
mid- I,
Udinese
what, I always feel that when you get your midfield combinations right, people underestimate
yeah
midfield so much. And Inter's engine is also the midfield. And Yogesh की भी Napoli winning team थी. What Milan, Inter and Napoli की जो तीन winning league winning teams थी, all were engines Inter midfield engines थे. And I think he's
yeah
got his midfield combination right finally. So I
yeah
guess
yeah
and you know हम लोग पर हम बात करते थे फ्लोरेंटीना मतलब they'll concede a goal. वो थोड़ा उन्होंने वो क्लोज कर दिया है गैप को थोड़ा.
fair enough so yeah, I'll just take a few comments. Mir said 2-0 Fiorentina. Of course, he'll say that. Juve 1-0 Lecce. Goal from Kefren. 1-1 draw Deepesh for that game. YDL ने आज की स्ट्रीम पे मिलान रोमा दोनों को तोड़ दिया रोमा तो टूटी हुई है वो यार ये अभी मजे कर रहा है बॉस अभी तो मजे कर रहा है देखते हैं गौरव नो प्रॉब्लम यार कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है आप स्ट्रीम पे आ गए जस्ट लाइक इट एंड शेयर इट दैट्स ऑल आई कैन से अटलांटा
Oh,
इंटर
oh.
यूसीएल फाइनल
इसमें भी बॉस भाई ऐसा मत बोलो बिकॉज अटलांटा मतलब कोई भी टीम को हरा सकती है आई थिंक इंटर्स पपी
Exactly. I wouldn't want to be in that position to like obviously if we are in the final, I'm not like scared of any team anywhere. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. But yeah, you get the point. भाई एक तो master class like he was struggling bro like he was struggling and then I'm assuming you're being sarcastic and then he got
sarcastic
injured.
I think.
Yeah, and he's going to return in December or January. मतलब नसीब खराब है अपना थोड़ा उधर. Just to take few more comments, I'll close here.
बट परम यार एक चीज बता यार मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ यार पवार इज अ डिफिकल्ट केस टू अंडरस्टैंड ना
Yeah,
मेरे को तो पता नहीं चल रहा
it
यार
is.
मतलब मेंटल
It
प्रॉब्लम
is.
मतलब आई थिंक ही सेटल्ड इन ऑफ कोर्स ही वन द
He
लीग
is
बट
settled.
ही लॉस्ट फॉर्म क्या हुआ
See,
पता नहीं चल रहा है
he loves in comparison to Munich at least कैसा है he's at least in love with where he is. Munich में थोड़ा depression issues हो गए थे during the pandemic and all. But now the thing with Power it is a bit strange. कभी कभी उसका एकदम बड़ा drop off हो जाता है which I just don't understand. I wouldn't be too critical क्योंकि चिंतन भाई simple logic है लास्ट सीजन वो जब आया था जो enthusiasm लाया था और खेला था you stop. So I don't want to give up on him or anything so soon.
not give up
But if
but it just feels
हाँ.
weird that dip feels very surprising na?
Yeah, the dip is a bit too much, which is I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying because against Leipzig, I was just shocked. I know, look, you have to give Openda credit for taking his case, but other than that, also I saw the struggle and it feels a bit weird. He's a temperamental player simply. जब अच्छे मूड में रहते हो वो सब रहते हो खेल लेता है अच्छा and when if you're not having whatever mentally the best of time then you're not good on the pitch. So I don't want to be too harsh, but I just hope वो consistency वापस दिखने मिले is all I can say. This is a funny comment. ये भाई मतलब बोलोनिया स्पोर्टिंग यूसीएल फाइनल इटालियन
बोलोनिया वर्सेस बोलोनिया लाइप्जिग फाइनल बहुत ही एपिक हो जाएगा
या बोलोनिया लाइप्जिग वो नेक्स्ट वाला कमेंट तो मुझे पता है रवि तू पहले भी डाला आई एम नॉट इवन गोइंग टू टेक इट you'll get our channel cancelled by the way but he'll wait who was this for sorry expecting UA to win with a clean sheet for us all eyes will be on Coop he has been catching a lot of strays from the fan base hasn't been the best condition that's true but he'll step up for UA believe in Coop he works hard he has the game sense to know fair enough ठीक है that's not wrong I mean it's also early to judge Chintan bhai in a way ठीक है, we all agree he's not a 60 million player. That's our view, but
My
still
only
it's
point is this. See, when I said don't like him as a player, not in the case is that price tag कुछ ज़्यादा था. Atlanta are good sellers, so I guess, and they knew Juventus wanted him. So
fair enough.
my point is that only that he's not a 60 million worth player. He's a good player to have, definitely.
Yeah.
But I love Yildiz. Yildiz is too classy, too talented.
Yeah. योगेश क्या बोलते हैं लोग तेरे स्माइल से डर रहे हैं आजकल यार मतलब come on. That cheeky smile, we know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're a power fan, obviously evident. Dumfries, by the way, he signed his contract. That saga is finally over. Official हो गया है.
Finally.
Yeah, थक गया था वो सुन के. Like Fraudizio was getting his news wrong as well. It's finally out of the way. So I'm just happy it's done. Does DCL buy curse his management after seeing CDK? This is a good question though. Do you miss CDK?
No. Okay.
Fair
He's
enough.
not. He
Yeah.
was not meant for this system. I guess. Gasparini gets the best out of him, but Milan, by the way, people forget he got ample of time. He played as
Yeah,
supporting
yeah,
striker
that's
also.
true.
He played as number 10 also. सब
Yeah,
जगह
that's
खेल लिया भाई वो बहुत protected था, and he had good players around him also. But I guess
Yeah.
didn't work out. I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, I agree with Chindan bhai. Charles de Kakala. This is a good. This is a good one. This is a good one. So
Outstanding stat for the weekend,
yeah,
like to have assist and goals. This number outstanding.
yeah, of course, of course.
मेरे को वो टेम्परामेंटल लगता है परम योगेश मेरे को वो थोड़ा टेम्परामेंटल लग रहा है राइट एनवायरनमेंट नहीं मिला तो ही वाज इन द शेल कांट ब्लेम हिम हिज फर्स्ट सीजन बट ही गॉट एम्पल ऑफ चांसेस विद मिलान
अभी गेटोरेड का सप्लाई मिल रहा है ना मुफ्त में योगेश गेटोरेड का या अग्री विद चिंतन कूप वाजंट एवर अ 60 million player but Atalanta of course they squeezed all the money
अरे पर परम दे आर एट दैट स्टेज आल्सो ना अटलांटा वो एक स्टेज पे आ गई है दे विल क्या बोलता है योगेश दे हैव अ गुड टीम दे आर डूइंग वेल फाइनेंशियली वो थोड़ी कोई प्लेयर को भी मुफ्त में जाने देगी दे
ना नहीं देगा नहीं अरे नहीं एब्सोल्युटली नॉट
By you mark my words, Ederson is anyways linked heavily. Liverpool want him. वरे वो बेचेंगे 60-70 मिलियन में उसको.
Yeah, I think he's stuck. योगेश अटक गया लगता है मुझे. Yeah, he's stuck. नहीं अच्छा योगेश तेरे को पूछ रहा है क्वेश्चन क्या बोलता है 60 मिलियन तो पक्का नहीं मतलब बेसिकली एडरसन के लिए ज्यादा पैसा तो आराम से मिल ही जाएगा राइट क्या बोलता है
डेफिनेटली यार लाइक एटलांटा ने यूवेंटस से काफी अच्छी डील मिली दैट्स व्हाई दे लेट कूप माइनस गो एंड इसलिए वो सागा इतना लंबा चला था एंड इन फ्यूचर आल्सो एटलांटा हैव अ टेम्पलेट टू फॉलो यार दे विल डू द सिमिलर थिंग
एग्जैक्टली
लुकमैन के लिए भी ऑफर्स आएंगे दे आर नॉट लेटिंग हिम गो सो इजीली
Look, exactly. PSG को चाहिए था ना last minute summer में. They said no, and he was looking to leave. इसलिए they had to leave him out of the match day squad, if you remember. And कैसा है ना now, Chintan bhai said it. We know they will sell players, but now they're in a position where they can say, भाई नहीं बेचेंगे तुम लोग पैसा नहीं डालोगे तो सिंपल कूप माइनर्स का भी बहुत लेट अनलॉक हुआ एंड बेचे तो भी दे हैव देयर यूथ एकेडमी प्लस द मनी दे कैन एंड व्हाट मिहिर सेड द मैनेजमेंट इज द परकासी फैमिली जो बहुत टाइम से रही है प्लस द अमेरिकन ऑब्वियसली जो यार पागलियू का ऑब्वियसली जो वो बास्केटबॉल टीम आई डोंट वॉच दैट मच एनबीए एंड ऑल बट ऑब्वियसली द वंस हु ओन द एनबीए टीम एज वेल सो इट्स अ वेरी वेल रन क्लब वेरी स्मार्टली रन क्लब that's all I can say and objectively I will say they are the best run club in Italy hands down
by margin boss by margin
exactly
they can literally sell every single player in the starting 11 for double the price
yeah and just to say कि Gasperini ने दिमाग नहीं होगा to think कि Atalanta don't have losses every club has losses it's just that Atalanta के बहुत कम and they manage the sustainability of the club very well and they have a fantastic stadium also now so you have to give them credit योगेश से डील करना आसान नहीं होता भाई मतलब एडीएल छोड़ पहले योगेश उसको उससे पहले डील करना पड़ता है या लुक दिस इज द नाउ दे हैव अ हेडेक ऑन देयर हैंड्स हेडेक क्या मतलब ऑप्शन भी है अभी हैप्पी टू सी
too many games
yeah happy to see there is a huge present for mental health and today yeah I agree with you रोमा का साइकोलॉजिस्ट 20 दिन में छोड़ के चला गया you guys
बेचारा खुद डिप्रेस लग रहा था मुझे
वो उसका फेस तो ऐसा था डिप्रेस्ड और कंफ्यूज्ड और लोग मीम बना रहे थे कि यही छोड़ने वाला है और छोड़ दिया 20 दिन में उसने रोमा भाई क्या बोलता है योगेश चिंतन भाई रोमा इज समथिंग साइकोलॉजिस्ट को अपना प्रोफेशन ही क्वेश्चन करवा दिया मतलब क्या क्लब है
I feel bad for Ajay bhai. Roma are going through a really tough phase.
अरे मुझे उस साइकोलॉजिस्ट के लिए बुरा लगता बेचारे ने अपना प्रोफेशन ही क्वेश्चन कर दिया भाई Ruslan Malinowski is in the chat. I feel for my ex-teammate Kobe is going through a tough time and stress. सही है यार.
एक्स मैनेजर के बारे में क्या भाई, एक्स
Uh,
मैनेजर को ऐसे निकाल दे लात मार के.
Tell me about your ex-manager. The management puts clauses related to trophies for increased wages. Yeah, that is there. Atalanta do that. Yeah, that's true. अभी तो ऐसा ये बात सुन के ना चिंतन में ऐसा लग रहा है सच्ची में मालिनोव्स्की तो ये
Yeah.
लिख रहा है इधर. But yeah, I think guys, I'll just take a last few comments and close this because they're both exhausting day and exhausting days to come. But we'll bring more content. Don't worry. Yeah, Kolasinac.
It's been actually
The thing
quite
is,
good, yeah.
yeah, he always had a good attitude though, Ravi. He was not like a piss. Like he was not, attitude wise, he wasn't the worst person there at Arsenal though. And he has the whole iconic photo is going viral on Twitter, no? The man of the working class thing.
Man
If
of the
you guys,
working class, yeah.
yeah. So he's quite hardworking. He's quite
Listen,
hard.
Ravi, by the way, Atlanta, वो गैस्परिनी कोई भी प्लेयर को किधर भी खिला सकते हैं
इधर भी, yeah.
and get it the best out of him. भाई
Yeah, and
जापा कोस्टा देख यार.
Yeah, Zappa Costa. उसका इंजरी बड़ा हो गया नहीं तो he was doing
What a
fantastic.
turnaround! What a turnaround!
Only lost cause is Zaniolo. उसके साथ कुछ नहीं हो रहा. He's the
भाई वो तो
only.
प्लेयर ही जूस नहीं चल रहा है तो प्लेयर ही नहीं चल रहा है. So there's something wrong with the player only. Yeah.
उसके
But
उसके
there's an ounce of talent in you, and Gasparini will get the best out of you.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, guys, I think we'll close this because yeah, I think हो गया सबके. Yeah, नहीं गौरव, I'll just say कि very good to have him back. Finally एक अच्छा dribbler है टीम में वापस आ गया है. And just hope he does well. He's a very hardworking player, down to earth, humble personality है. So I just hope he succeeds here. I accepted my fate at my former club. I wasn't fitting my manager and accepted it. सही है यार, इतना humble बंदा देखा नहीं है मैंने. But let's close it, guys. This was our chat on Inter and Atalanta, as the title says so far, sort of like the Nerazzurri dominance. Let's see how long it goes on. As for us, I hope it can continue. I don't know how long it will, but it's good to enjoy the moment if you're a football. That's why they say, right, Chindanma, in football, enjoy the moments when things are going well. And I think Yogesh will agree to that, especially based on what last season gave him. So, bhai, jo hai, enjoy karunga before anything bad happens, if it does. Any closing thoughts, Yogesh and Chindan bhai?
Nothing, man. Great weekend for Serie A and Champions League, man. It was very
Yeah.
amazing to see 4 teams do so well. Not
Yeah.
counting Bologna. Let's assume we have 4 teams only playing in Europe. But great team, and by the looks of it, Lazio and Fiorentina should continue that. So let's hope, man. Forza Calcio.
Yeah, Forza Calcio for sure. Yogesh, कुछ बोलेगा closing में? कुछ any thoughts?
Everything looks good from top of the table, so Forza Napoli sempre.
Let's see who closes that gap. Gaurav, wo to, we know this. We'll discuss this some other day in depth. Don't mind. But yeah, that's a thing. It's a worrying thing which I discussed earlier in the stream. So do go back and watch the stream, please. Grateful for this stream. It means a lot for Calcio fans. Wishing a quick recovery. Hi, and once we're back, we'll have better energy to put more contact. Again, me and Chintan bhai, it's not like we have fully recovered. Ajay bhai, I don't know. I don't think Chintan bhai is either, and Ajay bhai also has it. And with the whole work schedule and all, it takes a toll. It's like a week thoda slow down ho gaya. But don't worry, we'll be back. We'll bring whatever Lazio theme, Milan theme episodes सब plan किया आएगा. So don't worry. But yeah, thank you guys. See you soon. We will again subscribe करो यार. We are I think at we are close to 1.2 something. I don't remember, but the goal is 1.3K. तो पचा दो. लाइक करो इस स्ट्रीम को, शेयर करो देखने के बाद. एंड अगर आपको ट्विटर पे फॉलो करना है, चिंतन भाई है ट्विटर पे एक्टिव, योगेश है ट्विटर पे एक्टिव. Chintan bhai is always giving his thoughts on sports somewhere or the other, so do follow us. And we'll see you guys very soon. Forza Inter and Forza Calcio.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.